Make sure it does what it's supposed to. Good. Good it is. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, so this story is about done. I've done all my little adjustments to the dialogue and bits of setting, as well as finished the epilogue. No rhyming poem at the end because of hell of that, but still has it where it needs to be. So now I'm left with is just proofreading the whole thing. All 200 and some pages of it. So hell be my voice at the end of this. So, scene 1, and talk on the train. Screech! A subway train slows to a halt, allowing its hefty load a chance to leave. Some walk off, but many remain. They're stopped just a little further down. Such is the case with 4 particular workmen, laughing with each other. The ride will take over 30 minutes, but it goes by in an instant as they joke the time away. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd. A typical workday for most on this train, now heading home from their 9-to-5s. The 4 livening up this car are all employees of Scale Up Machine Robotics. Ted is the manager of negotiations, Dominic and Sean are his assistant managers. Franc is their underling, though that's not quite the right word. Talks that. They can't all be winners. Or kings. I prefer plinths. No one bothers the plinths when there's a king to besmirch. Who knows what was that man who snuck up the Duchess's panties? The men snort and laugh. The joke just keeps going. It's been 10 minutes now, and the Duchess's plight continues. Franc is killing it, like usual. The passengers who regularly take this car, who are regular to this car, still making adjustments, are accustomed to this. They hide their own smiles. Their smiles, enjoying the fun on this boring ride. I say Duchess Linda could use a rough rousing, little penalty game. Calm yourself, Dominic. Let's not go too far with her. So, same as all her boyfriends. Low below, but I don't disagree. No one's below the one her for years. Well, if we're going there, if she'd stop stealing our ideas, she'd be more popular. Agreed. Soccer's our thing. How dare she take our work and throw a tournament on top of it? Really? We had the original idea, and we persevered too. A tournament, so... I like the idea of a little competition. The kids would like it, and I need some challenge for once. Oh, I'm gonna deck you this weekend, fear not, my friend. Like you did 2 weeks ago? That wasn't my fault. Robbie ran into me. You have any idea the stopping power of an excited 12-year-old? I've experienced it. We all have, except Franc. I've dodged many in my day, both small and large. Finesse, it's what you lack. We'll work on that this weekend. A good reprieve from tomorrow's hell. It's not going to be that bad. We're just reviewing our projects. A summary meeting. That's it. Linda's going to phrase everything as her idea. And go into great detail as to all the work she has done. Bullying the kids, who plays so often because of us, the prize list that we got her, the parents came on board because we proposed it. She needed us to get this off the ground. Taking credit for it all pisses me off. And all to market the company. Nothing more than a business deal to her. I'm just a tad disappointed. Though, as long as the kids are having fun, I guess. It's not all that bad. Ted will explain our part and bring her down a bit, to the very depths of the ocean, with all her fellow crabs. He definitely has crabs, that's for sure. Be this much of a bitch. I'll be sure to put her in her place, metaphorically. The bottom of a tank should do. Let someone else try to fish her for a feast. Let someone else try to fish her out for a feast. Please don't make me think about bombing for her. Relax. She'll be tried by the sushi chef. what was her name? Kylie? She'll give Linda a bit of taste and humility. Right, let's use the actual name so it doesn't sound out of place later. I look forward to this show. Don't disappoint me, Ted. Are you looking down on me, assistant manager? Let's just move on to other things, okay, guys? How about we all team up against Franc this weekend? Oh, I'm down for that. It won't just be Franc, though. Won't be just Franc, though. The kids want to be on his team. They can join ours. It'll be an all-American team versus a German champion. Sean, I appreciate the thought, but even that will not save you. I've been taking it easy on you Americans. Need I show you why I was called the Piercing Prince? Well, the Dutches know. Again, don't make me think of that. It'll be good for team building regardless. We're good for team building. Yes, a team exercise is what you all try to jump me at. Very encouraging. Thought you said you could handle it. I just don't think you'll build it too much as I destroy your foundations. I'm concerned, that's all. Is that a challenge? Did you not all just challenge me? Did you not... Did you all not just challenge me? And every time we've played, well, tried. Oh, you're Dominic? Let's not get too riled up. We'll give it one good shot. Then we'll have a normal game. Draw straws and fill the ranks like usual. I miss normal. All this community work is taking it out of me. Once the deal business is done with, we can go back to contracts. I need to put some people in their places. There's more negotiations and intimidating the other side. What works, works. This is why I don't let you do the talking. I don't need to talk. My typing speaks for itself. I have electric fingers. I'm sure Linda is well aware. Ted, Sean, and Franc chuckle while Dominic snuffs in disgust. They tilt sideways along with the other patrons as the train slows to a stop. The doors open and the arguments file out. Football this weekend would be the treat. Soccer, Franc. It's called soccer, my good man. Christ, trying to sound like a struggle. First meeting. 9 a.m. Don't be late, or I'm throwing you into the crab tank. I have been preparing for weeks. I am not going to forget. And I'm a great swimmer anyway. Franc waves, departs, waving goodbye to his friends. Another quick sip here. Don't recall what flavor that was. Scene 2, Joe's Coffee. Joe's Coffee is a local coffee shop. Go figure. As one would guess. Good, I noted that. Unlike Starbucks, it ventures more for a local, ventures more towards a local flavor and caters specially to repeat customers. A real personal experience. It has to, otherwise Starbucks would sink it. This is where you go to have a professionally made coffee following your exact directions. A feel of home without the work. As a business, it does well and has managed for a few years just fine. There are 2 women on shift. One is Marie, a woman of 30 years, keeping herself beautiful with minimum effort. She's worked here since its opening, earning some special treatment for dedicated service and loyalty. Currently, she's in the stockroom, chatting away happily on her phone. She tries to be quiet about it, but her partner in comedy is too good. She tries to be quiet, but her partner in comedy is too good. A glance at the clock. 5:42. Crap, she needs to get back to work. They exchange goodbyes and hang up. Now, on to the next task. Checking the supplies. Her coworker, Julie, mans the counter. Normally she'd be bored out of her mind, but today is special. One of 2 days of the week that he shows up. And it's nearing 5:45. She straightens up, brushes her clothes a bit, checks her breath. Good. She's gonna get her worth out of him this time. 3 minutes pass, and right on time. In walks the man Julie's been waiting for. The special man. Franc. He approaches the counter with a big smile. Julia, good to see you. Pleasure. Holds out her hand. I should note that. Franc pauses for a moment, but tries to keep this brief. He grasps her hand and attempts to release, but she holds on, staring right into his eyes. You know, if you drop by more often, we'd be good friends by now. I have much work to do. But you already come by twice a week. What's a third? A fifth? If I get coffee too frequently, it'll be bad for my health. If I get coffee too frequently, it'll be bad for my health. You wouldn't want me to become a blabber, would you? Pulls on his hand. Julie grips tighter. I suppose not, but we have snacks here. I could just alter the recipes to be more healthy, maybe add a salad to the menu. I don't think Joe would want an employee to change things around. Let Marie do it, so I can too. Leans in. Marie is very special. She worked for Joe since he started out. There's a lot of trust there. You can trust me a bit more. I'd have this place booming. The Margaritaville ideas already taken. They could be sued. I call it something else, Martini Town. And the coffee, we could just add it in. Franc raises both eyebrows, leaning away, grimacing. Very thought of defiling coffee is sacrilegious. Don't knock it till you try it. Winks. That's missing a period. Franc shudders internally. Where's his princess? Where is Marie? I shall be getting my order. I am not doing the accent right anymore. What is Marie? I should be getting my order. Well, this is going to be awkward as I forgot how to talk like Franc. A very loud, long, frustrated sigh. Julie finally raises Franc's hand. He's spoken magic words. As a proper lady, Julie will not push him further. Leans way back. Marie, your dazzling princess here. This hand needs comfort, more than a mere chambermaid. Looks back to Franc. You're really too uptight, just let it flow. We could both have fun. I'd rather not. Your loss, hun. Wait just one moment. I'll make it just the way you like it. Julia sidesteps the coffee machine and inputs some settings. She then grabs some things at the counter. Do you even know? I've watched Marie. I'm more attentive if you give me credit. Wasn't that hand massage wonderful? Franc avoids the subject, choosing, correctly, not to let Julie start up again. Please, don't add anything else. Least of all liquor. Fine. Julie puts aside a cup of clear liquid, shaking her head. Franc breathes a very quiet sigh of relief. Well, this should not be... That should be one there. In a minute, Marie walks in from the back room, stifling a smile. Hello there, my prince. Oh, Christ, how do I talk as her? Hello there, my prince. Oh, Christ. Hello there, my prince. Sure. That's kind of easy to do. At long last, my princess, I have traveled far and wide just to catch a glimpse of you. For this reward, the journey wasn't nearly hard enough. I haven't earned this. Well, I choose you, I see. And you've had an invite waiting for you. Oh God, I'm going to this now. Welcome to my castle, traveler. Your meal will be served shortly. Well, at least it doesn't kill my throat. Just go to the back room, why don't you? You two have already warmed it up. Did you spill something? It's nothing. I just have a sit. I've been here on my feet all day. I need a drink, too. Maybe a nice coffee. I still don't see the appeal of cold coffee. It's an acquired taste. Marie returns to the back room. Franc, you've not had any iced coffee before. No. Marie, come on, get him one too. From behind the door. Sure. This would be too much coffee, but a test, I suppose. Marie exits with 2 cups of cold ones. The pair takes a seat at the table. Marie starts on her coffee. Frank just stares at his cold cup of... ugh. Well, bottoms up. Sips. Actually. Sound effect of sipping. Not too bad, but still not that good. Stands up.
Wrong, don't waste good coffee.
It's not good coffee.
It is to me. Pass it over.
Frank sits back down, pushing a cup of poisoned coffee to Marie. She pulls it to the side, first focusing on the one in her hand. I don't never understand.
I'll teach you in the coming years. You're welcome. You'll welcome us on a warm summer day.
I don't think so. Even then, I prefer the tantalizing taste of a normal coffee. Julie proposes. Roche's holding one coffee. Steam escapes the top. Frank's nose twitches, his eyes drawn to the familiar scent of his specialty. Fortunately, Julie's head ducks down to intercept his eyes. Marie is on guard.
One special offer just for you. I did my own little twist. Smiles. Julie, don't poison my fiancé. And you promise not to mess with it.
I didn't literally add... Wait. I didn't add anything. Just some care and attention. Alright. Okay, so the issue is attaching to that. Didn't add anything physically. Just some care and attention. Alright, that'll work it. Yes, thank you, Julie. I'm sure it will taste wonderful.
I don't get the disgusting taste of that icy stuff out of your mouth. My specialty brew would have done that regardless. Anything would have cleansed his palate. In fact, just talking with me would have sufficed.
Well, I keep thinking Mickey Mouse when I speak like this. Not that it's accurate at all.
You got plenty of his tongue back in there. Let me have a bit. You got plenty of his tongue back there. Let me have a bit. I didn't get to hear his voice as often as you.
I don't get to hear his voice as often as you. Frank raises an eyebrow.
That was April, not Frank. Didn't sound that way to me.
She and April are inseparable when on the phone. They're a happy duo. Best friends are that way. Julie looks doubtfully at Marie. It is fine. How about you relax with a cup of joe?
I've not heard that.
Oh, that's the wrong person. Real quilt laughter.
Ah, I've not heard that one in years. Frank, just such a treat. Not that funny, you know.
Why don't I have these voices switched? What the hell is wrong with me? Joe had good sense to name this place after him. He must have loved that joke. You know, I never heard coffee called this until I moved here. That name for coffee until I moved here. In fact, it was you, Julie, who introduced me. You Americans come up with the funniest ideas.
Like cold coffee?
Yes, but that one is a bad joke. If it's too cold, I can warm up to you, just like a mama bird.
You!
Just to let them know that I have assets that are quite useful. Lying Frank. Just kidding, I know I wouldn't. You know I wouldn't really go after someone who's engaged. Turns to you later, hun. Julie walks away, finally giving the two some peace. I know a few guys who like a steamy rump. Julie stops on a dime and turns her head back.
Frank!
I'm just saying that she may do well with some of my friends. They're full of energy, not quite successful. Manager level success. Perhaps I should bring them around. Well then, maybe I should doll up just a bit. Julie smiles, lost in thought about the hotties Frank must work with. She returns to her post. This time, she stays there. That should get her. Off me for just a little while.
I dare say. It wouldn't distract her for long.
Nobody is anyway. Only one person here is hotter than the coffee you serve. Locks eyes. Smiling.
But she's too hot then.
I recognize she is attractive, but I care for much more than just the look. I want the feel, the taste, the voice crying my name. Marie blushes, covering her mouth. Her head turns completely to the side, staring at another table. She was a bold statement and in near public. He's done this before. It shouldn't be a surprise now. Still, Marie always takes a shock and her heart flutters. As her heart flutters. That makes more sense there. Enough about the desperate half-wife. How are the plans for the party?
It's just about set. Everything. Another gift. It'll be at Kevin's house.
Ah, Kevin. He wishes to impress young April, then. A good home he has, a stable career, and dashing looks. Worthy of a new PhD, lady, wouldn't you say?
I don't know. April's so forward and brash. Kevin's more calm and sweet. Is this even audible? It is. Alright.
Ha! But it does have a wild side. At least some beast he cannot control. Marie feels a tinge of that. She hides a wistful feeling creeping up.
That was a one-off. I don't think he'd do it again.
Considering he lost a wonderful woman, I should hope he'd not be so foolish. As long as that desire of his remains in check, I did give you a ring for protect.
He's not going to do that. We're over with. And I know that time was a mistake. He regrets it, but we'll have to live with it. I've moved on.
Takes Frank's hand.
I am yours, forever and ever. No worries here.
I'm just worried is all. But if you say he won't try anything, then I suppose all is well.
We've been good friends for almost half a year now.
Since I proposed.
That night you saved me. I could finally move on from that dark time. Our dates were like dreams, amazing. Your words that night. I found the strength to get closure. We agreed to stay friends, to not burn everything away, but very much just friends.
I am happy you are able to move on with your life, to continue with me. I shall grant you everything you ever wished for, and promise to never think of another woman the same way I think of you. Frank leans in for a kiss. Marie meets him. Alright, the terrible Mickey Mouse voice is starting to get to me. But it's good to stream my voice on occasion since I don't talk much. Scene 3. Marie's mom. A thin, 3-story house provides a home to Marie and Frank. Marie used to live in a small apartment in the same building as her mom. When Frank proposed, they moved in together. Having actual space is amazing. Her mom was also relieved that her little girl was able to find love, even after Kevin. I don't like that delivery. Despite Kevin. There we go. Marie arrives home from work around 8 p.m. Frank's already here, busily chatting on the phone. That can mean only one thing, a call from Mom. Marie puts her things away, then sits on the sofa. Frank sees her and walks up. And here we have your most precious. Relaxing on the couch after a hard day's work.
How's Mom?
One moment, yes. Yes, yes she does. Too many hours, I think. Nods. Yes, I'll be taking good care of her today. Looks to Marie. My phone is yours. Frank hands over his phone to Marie. Hands his phone over to Marie. He heads into the study, likely to do some work.
Hi, Mom. Hold on, I can't quite hear you.
Puts on speaker.
Good to hear from you. It's been a whole week.
Oh, Christ.
I know. Work's been a bit hectic as of late. was going to open a few more stores. I've been swamped.
You need a vacation.
I can't. Not right now.
I know. You want to help Joe. You're a good girl. But you're not the only one stressed.
I know he's been busy for a while, but he can handle it.
Specify Franc. Marie, daughter dear, my precious princess. Your man needs comfort. He's got a lot hanging over him. It's a wife's duty to keep her prince healthy.
We're not married yet.
Alright, let's dot that out rather than a quick turn on it.
Mom, we're not married yet. Mom, we're not married yet.
Which delivery do I like better? Mom, we're not married yet. I think I like the slow one better, actually. Really quick one.
Mom, we're not married yet.
It's nearly a year now. All these weird errors I keep finding. It's coming soon.
And when that time comes, we'll be husband and wife. Until then, fiancé is the word. And on a note of work, I'm also in need.
Of stress. Alright. Fine. Fortunately, both could be handled at once. It is a team effort after all. Or did you think I meant for a solo job?
Please let me handle this. I don't want to talk about the specifics with you, you know?
Alright, I'll leave things to you. I just wanted to let you know that he's been doing a lot of work, and I do mean a lot. It's not just negotiating contracts, or advising his team on the limits of programming. This community work is on top of all that. The man's overworked. He doesn't look or sound it, but I know he's starting to hurt.
I know the feeling.
That's a disturbing sigh sound. Alright, hair, get out of my face. You are too tickly. Is Joe paying you for the overtime?
I didn't ask. I'm not going to put more financial stress on him than he needs. We can talk about pay later.
You weren't planning to ask him, were you? You know how that makes me feel. You have a lot to offer, just ask for it. He'll give you anything you want. You've been supporting him since the start, and he trusts you so much. You can ask for better pay. You can't just live off of Franc. That delivery. You can't live. Just can't live off of Franc. Can't just live off of Franc. Can't live just off of Franc. Can't live just off of Franc. Can't live just on Franc. Alright, this is annoying me. Better pay, you can't live. You have to contribute with... No. Live off of Franc is the right thing to do. You can't live off of Franc. Give some back. Can't live off of Franc, give some back. Alright, I'll do that.
I'm not living off him. That's why I've kept this job these past 2 years.
I guess I can just leave it that way, can't I?
I like working at the coffee shop. Plus, I don't plan to just be a housewife.
Plan to... be only a housewife. Marie, I am proud of you. I didn't expect you to quit. I understand you don't want to cause issues for Joe. Let's put a stopper on that. For now, you and Frog need some relaxation and a workout.
Mom!
Just saying, I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Mom.
Getting...
I guess we'll have to be better to Frank tonight. I'll just have to deal with it this time.
Alright. Rory places the phone on the table and heads up. She's quite tired. Scene 4. Bedtime. The bedroom, the dormitory, name drop, is fairly standard. A bed with a nightstand on either side, bathroom, 2 dressers, an armoire, and a comfy chair. The chair was Marie's, something from her mom's old house. She doesn't sit in it much anymore. Frank is taking to giving the chair some love instead. He also bought a few paintings, lighting up the place. Marie lies in bed, reading a book. Frank finishes up and heads in after her. You look lovely tonight.
That's the best line you have.
I just thought I'd try something simple.
A woman appreciates effort.
Then perhaps some of these. Frank sits up and starts rubbing her shoulders. Marie turns away and lets the man get to work. Kisses her neck. She tilts so he has a better angle. To give him.
Last night I woke up around 2 a.m. Call of nature. Afterwards I came down to fetch my coat blanket. I heard typing in the study.
Spooch, you're a curious mouse.
Well, just a little. To hear you typing at that hour is a bit surprising. Could you not sleep either?
Stops briefly. Dominic had a near panic attack. A nightmare where he overslept and missed tomorrow's meeting. He emailed me earlier that night, and we had some exchanges. Oh, that was last night. So I should change it to last night. He emailed earlier last night, and we had some exchanges. Well, waiting for his responses, I did some research for work. While I quieted down around 2 a.m. Massage is better.
He couldn't just talk to Ted.
You'll know how he follows me around.
As assistant manager, it's just a bit weird.
He may be higher ranked than me, but we are all friends. Besides, he's enamored by my football prowess. Massage strengthens. Shivers in a good way.
Maybe you can just have talked about it over a pint.
Ah, yes, well, that brings up some business. Ted is having us meet up tonight. Just a quick round at midnight. To get us relaxed and have a good sleep for tomorrow. Rolls her neck, moans a little.
Just don't be out too late.
I'll be back in bed before you know it. Just back in bed is enough. Wait for that.
Drinking with your friend is the only way you release tension.
Takes Frank's firm, massaging hands. This is to keep my friends happier. Though, nestles his face against Marie's cheek. We all have been very stressed of late. Our work of the last few years has soon to bear fruit. So much pressure. I need a release.
I think I know a way.
Looks behind, eyeing Frank. Could you will it? Eyes pause, body's tension. Body tenses. And let us do.
Do we really need to? I think I can keep you entertained all on my own.
Reed turns around completely, curling her arms around Frank's neck. She gives a soft kiss, pressing her arms against his shoulders. You know I love the role play. If I not been good enough, can I not be master tonight?
I suppose you have a big day tomorrow. You need to be relaxed as possible.
That's my lady. I'll be waiting in the chair. Frank gets up, walks to his chair, and plops down. He smiles in anticipation. Then gets up. Ah, I nearly forgot. Or he gets up again. Oh. He already has that's up there. Leaves the room with skipping a step.
Yes, that.
Marie goes to the wardrobe. She opens the doors and reaches inside. Late night meeting, scene 5. The night is chilly and breezy. Empty parking lot, no cars at this hour. The high time downer doesn't seem business this late. A lone woman stands beside the light post. Barely illuminating her. She wears a hooded jacket, mittens, and jeans. Her watch ticks to 1 a.m. Still no Craig. He's taking his sweet time. Does he think he can show up late? He would, the bastard. Already hiking up prices for supply issues. Yeah, right. There's no way to treat your customers. 105, a man briskly walks into the lot. He wears jeans and a jacket, his hands stuffed in the latter's pockets. He approaches the woman, stopping 10 feet short, just at the edge of the light. He nods to her. He notices the woman, who has been tapping her foot for 5 minutes. April is displeased.
I thought we agreed on 1 a.m. sharp. Something come up?
Geez, it's just 5 minutes. Relax.
You're not exactly on a free and easy trip, Craig. A cop could show up at any moment. Hell, they could have people lying in wait.
I always do a cursory walk, hence I'm a tad tardy.
You've never been late before.
This one took longer. A light just wouldn't turn.
Odd excuse.
Try it yourself. It's the one in the corner opposite the Walgreens. That thing's cursed.
Then just walk across and get hit by a car at this hour.
Paranoid. So are you.
I have a good reason to be, and so should you.
I've been doing this for years. Experience is everything.
Whatever. I don't have time for this. You got it.
The buns. April puts out a plastic bag holding numerous bills. She fans herself with it. It's chunky. She fans herself. It's clunky.
$500 right here.
Craig pulls out a hand. Pulls a hand out from his jacket. He grasps a small bag of white powder, maybe a few ounces. Didn't think you'd scrounge up enough. Not with all that debt. How's the new doctor thing doing? Going. April grabs the bag, but Craig pulls away.
Nah, be polite. I'll hand it over as you give me the money. A fair trade.
Oh, he's still a ways away from her, isn't he? Alright, now she's next to him. He forces the money forward, her arm hyperextended. Her face is painted in a disgruntled look.
I'm doing just fine.
It'll be much better once I have that. Trades, you know, if you learn to study properly, you'd never have dropped out of school. Ouch. Nods. Okay. But you'll have to move on to better stuff eventually. That'll stop being effective after a while. That'll stop.
It's lasted me 6 years.
Whistles.
Shut up, you want someone to hear us.
Sorry, we'll just wrap this up then. Craig stores the bag in his jacket pocket. April does likewise.
I can manage with just a tiny bit at a time. But you never thought a customer could avoid huffing it all at once, did you? I have a strong will.
Glances to her pocket. Yeah, if you say so. Well, if you ever want something better, you know where to reach me. I can hook you up with something real good. Turns away. What could you possibly have? Craig turns back.
This works wonders all on its own. And a steady, almost steady price tag, leers.
Craig shrugs. If you think getting a few hours of working is good. Think getting in a few extra hours of work is good. Then how about a full day working at peak efficiency?
And then what? I drop dead?
Now you've taken moderation.
Pass.
You are lost. Craig walks away, rounding his usual corner. April is now alone. She withdraws the bag, looking it over.
What a dick.
This looks promise. Wait. April opens the bag and holds it under the dim light. The top of the powder sparkles. That's not usual. She dabs a little and tastes. Sugar. That fuck. She digs through. Most of this is the good stuff. The top is sugar, maybe a quarter ounce.
That little shit.
I'll give him hell. Actually, does he specify? No.
That little shit. I'll give him hell. Ha.
April crouches and hurriedly walks after Craig. Stealth mode activate. She rounds the corner of the building and spots him casually walking away. Of the diner. Maybe he has no more customers, or just plans to make them wait. That's still like him. She follows the prick, certain she'll get her money's worth from him, even if she has to steal it. No, requisition what was rightfully hers, and then some to account for with the hike prices. This stalking is short-lived as Craig walks just 3 blocks. Along the way, he pulls out the bag of money, shifts some bills around, and pockets a handful. He zips it back up and puts it back into his pocket. He pulls into a construction site. The site is surrounded by a fence, a mix of chain link and wood. There is a temporary office, its door hanging open. Craig walks in and turns on the desk lamp, illuminating the room. A tall man emerges from behind a filing cabinet. He's wearing all black, even a black ski mask. Finally, someone serious, April thinks. She scurries to a hiding place. Some I-beams nearby. She listens in, waiting for her chance. Yo, boss man, how's it hanging? As chip as a chipmunk. You done your rounds? Yep, a good old score too. Retrieves it back. A full $350. Full price, good. I have other dealers who try cutting me short. Real hustlers. Maybe the deal, toss in the hay for a discount or some other bullshit. They ought to be careful not to catch something from a night walker. I'm an honest man. Of course you are, partner. Holds out his hand. Tosses the bag. My customers are loyal too, especially the last one. Just got a big old degree. Architecture of all things. She uses the focus in variety to help her study. Isn't that swell? And she's still itching for it? And she's itching for it. Ready for her hog-killing time? God. I am just not good with voicing stuff. And she's itching for it. Really in for hog-killing time. It's still addicting, even when taken in moderation. Still wants to feel like she's smart. If only her friends knew the length she went to get that fancy degree. Sounds like she's nearing up and close to you. So she's still getting roostered off it? Yep, keep it coming. She'd even fork over her life savings for it. You're not a bag egg, right? Wouldn't charge a little... You're not a bag egg, right? Wouldn't charge extra to get a bigger cut? Not without your permission. Of course. Of course he'd charge more. Hearing her cue, April stands up from behind the beams. Craig's neck nearly snaps as it twists over to look at this woman. To look at her. His eyes widen. He stumbles backwards. Boss man just looks over his shoulder. You know, April, what are you doing here?
I just thought I'd give your boss a progress report. Let him know just how much of a good boy you've been.
April flashes a wicked smile. Craig starts to sweat. But April, you followed me. You can't do that. Turns to Craig. You let a customer follow you? And to me? Of all people, you're in a bit of a bad box, son. Craig's face pales. His eyes dart between the two. Panic starts to set in. I never noticed. She's like a cat. Stealthy. Looks right through Craig. Your excuses are a lick and a promise. I thought your professionalism was in apple pie order, but now it feels like I've been nailed to the counter. Never trust a dropout. Waves April forward. Come on up. No use staying back there. Never trust a dropout. Hold on, where is that line from? Did I use that before? Hold on. Okay, she uses it later, that's fine. April probably steps forward into the office and moves right up to Craig. His face takes on a redder hue, a rage coming to the surface. She occasionally looks back to the boss man as she speaks. You're right, never trust a dropout. I've never dropped out, so you can trust me just fine. As he says, it's a PhD, so you know I know what I'm talking about. So you know, I know what I'm talking about. Go on. This little boy wanted to be a big man, but he couldn't muster the strength, so he decided to go with a more subtle way to feel better about his little wee-wee. Craig starts, but Bossman shoots him a look. He quiets down. He's been naughty behind your back. Looks at the bag. Seems kind of light compared to what I gave him. I don't know what you're talking about. That's all the money, I swear. Swear to who? Yourself? We both know that's a broken train. No worth whatsoever. At least be a slightly bigger man and own up to it. This is a plum $350. How much does this broomtail add on? Broomtail take off. I didn't $50 short. Criminy. The amount I gave him sells for $350. The amount I gave for him sells for $350. That's what he just turned off with me, but he charged you $500. Craig, get a knowledge coin about this bag of nails. Empty your pockets. I just empty your pockets. Yes, sir. Craig reaches into his jeans pockets and pulls them clean. He then, shakily, goes into his jacket, pulling free everything. The floor hits a mostly used pack of cigarettes, lighter, his own stash of Mary Jane, a wallet, keys, other assorted crap. He drops 7 20s and a 10. Abel picks up the money and walks over to the boss man. $150 in hiked prices. Claimed it was supply issues. But it doesn't seem like that's a problem. Sounds like a teradottle around these parts, so it's practically in every pine cone. There's plenty as long as you can pay. Presuming he doesn't pocket the drugs, too. Oh, was your bag missing a hooter? It weighed the same and looked right, until I put it up to light and the top sparkled. Sugar, a cheap trick. I see. I apologize for getting busted off by this varmint. As for you getting busted off by this varmint, I promise you'll have something more ace-high for you next time. Something Simon Pure and not any crobate junk. It'll be a cheaper price for all the chiseling he's done. Something that'll actually cost $500 after the discount. A fair shake. How much is it usually? $1,200. Should he do this again, you know our meeting place. I'll make him chew gravel. I'd be delighted to try something new. You're more of a salesperson than he'll ever be. Looks to Craig. For now, you can just keep that $150 over. Craig won't do it again, I'm sure. Lexi wants me to give him Jesse. Once it's over, he will, and Jesse will be needed. Only if he's all down but 9. April walks back over to Craig, her hand clasped behind her back. leans forward, acting innocent. Her right hand slams Craig's cheek. Not a pleasure doing business with you. If you are going to be a chicken shit, I might as well deal with your boss instead. Craig's face swells in rage. First, she gave him lip back to the post, then followed him, then turned him to the boss, and now she struck him. She's hit him. You bitch! Craig shoves April away, launching her into the boss man. She collides, the man stands firm, as though he didn't feel a thing. April rights herself, looking up to the good one. Sorry. It's all right. Not your fault a buffalo charged you. At least none of us were hurt. That is one truck of a chest. A man's chest is his wagon. Sturdy. Sorry. Hutch, boy, you already done me dirty. You bad hoss. You're a bad egg. To try to fuggle your customer on me. That ain't no rodeo, not something you want to play around in like sandbox. What you did was balderdash. Yes, sir. Craig looks down, eyes staring blankly at the floor. His body shakes. He has to hold on to this chest. Onto the desk, keep himself steady. He fears what comes next. You think you done yourself a flat in the mouth? You think yourself a flat in the mouth? But you're nothing but a desert canary. How much have you skimmed off the top and stashed in your ace of the hole? Just this one time. I've only done this with her, and it's the first time I took from the stash. It's just that the other junkies usually can't pay as well. She's been good the entire time. I just thought that since she could always grab up the cash, that I Look, the customer, this ain't no junkie here. This is an intelligent young woman with a bright future. She's at the first water right here. You can't chisel something like this. What if she decided to go clean and turn you in? Did you ever think of that? You're looking for a stay of the house gal? No. Of course you didn't. If you had, you'd not have been tailed and reeled me. You fucked up, son. I'm fit to be tied, but I'm not without forgiveness. You're not gonna try to fob us off again, right? Yes, sir. No, sir. In 1 week's time, you'll be handling something better than you've ever seen. Think of it as a taste of the future, as long as you stop being a fantail. With her fluffed-up degree, she's landed. You will get a big jacket of that. This is called forward thinking, something a 10-cent boy like yourself ought to develop. Yes, sir. Then we're good? Yes, sir. Shakily salutes. Grow a spine out of that yellow belly, you yak. This young woman could die standing up. I'm gonna have to charge a little over the top, though. You'll barely notice it. Next week, like always, at the supply drop. Craig bends over, trying to pick up his things. His vibrating hands miss frequently. His vibrating hands miss. This will take a while. Same time, same place. Nods April. Good doing business with you. Boss man makes his way out of the office and off the site. April looks on, a smile forming. Likewise, my hero. April too heads off. Craig is left alone in his stupor. Alright, that page is just fine. After all the adjustments, of course. On to part 2, after I have some more tea. Alright. Part 2, Work and Soccer. Scene 1, Review Meeting. Wednesday has come. The day of this standard review meeting at Zoomer. Or Summer. I mispronounced my own company. Good for me. Scale up machine robotics. It's anything but. 3 small teams, led by different managers, have been working hard towards a goal only known to the CEO, Greg. Each has their own tasks to complete, and have done so. over the course of nearly 2 years. Franc and his co-workers are in the conference room, sitting at the end of the table, chatting away in whispers. A woman leers on the left, her team organizing documents. A man to the right tends to himself, having a minor discussion with one of his men. These 3 teams fill the seats of the table, save for one, the CEO's chair. After 6 minutes, he enters the room and takes his place. Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Linda. And a good morning to you all. As you are aware, this is just a summary review of what's been accomplished and where we stand. The deal is almost upon us. The prep work of these last 2 years is about over. Soon, we shall receive our reward. Glad to hear it. We can finally get back to normal. Not that we've disliked all the community work. Ha! Something funny. Starts to stand. Ted puts a firm hand on Dominic's shoulder. Act civil, or do I need to ask you to leave? Dominic sits back down, holding in his displeasure. He remains with his arms crossed for the rest of the meeting, his face in a constant grump. Alright. Sorry about that, he's been so feisty. He's always so feisty, but it's a good thing to have in a contract negotiation. We all have our little quirks. It's what makes us Summer special. Back to the main topic. As you just alluded to, you were each given a special task, extra work on top of your normal duties. I know it's been hard, but it's all for the future and prosperity of this company. Ted, you were to create some community programs. Rupert was to upgrade our customer services. Linda covered sponsored events. Let's start with you, shall we? Of course, sir. Glances to Franc, then back to Greg. To Franc, then to Greg. The tournament I propose shall be a success. The participants are lined up, and we're working on acquiring the prizes. Glad we could help. The kids we've been working with over the last year will be thrilled. There's a lot of W words in this. But well. Will the prizes be an issue? Sean hurried around for an entire day polling the kids and asking the parents. I think we got a reasonable list from them. Yes, we can acquire everything. Thank you, Ted, for your assistance. Good to see our projects will work well together. Leans back. Linda looks to Greg. Yes, and with my team's help, we'll get the word out beyond just the neighborhood. There'll be more than just a few kids for this event. Don't forget the others who use the park. We did manage to get several dozen to regularly show up and play the other sports. Yes, of course, the non-soccer kids. I'm sure they'll enter a soccer tournament. For a good prize, I'd bet. You're not seeing the big picture. Your team was to form a community events, not a tight clique. You four have done some work, yes, but it's very narrow in scope. We're supposed to increase our presence in the community. That's why we're doing all of this. Frank's soccer idea only reaches so far. It's short-sighted. And frankly, just playing with some kids isn't really working, is it? Then why suggest a tournament? Feeling left out? Of course not. I'm just saying they're taking the latest approach possible. Hold it right there, Linda. I'm not going to let you badmouth my team like this. It is true that we play soccer with the kids, an idea that was Frank's to begin with, a good one too. We've managed to bring some joy into their lives, and Frank's a good mentor as well. You should see the work they put in trying to beat him. He's untouchable, but gives them chances. They're learning to work towards a goal, teamwork, communication, planning. Their parents are overjoyed that a group of adults could be so inspiring to their children. They were playing together before, weren't they? I doubt you lot were just hoisting around. Standing bored by the bathrooms. Asta joined. Okay, I'll just fix this dialogue.
Doubt you lot were horsing around, and they, standing bored by the bathrooms, asked to join.
They played a lot, to the point that their only ball kept deflating, and the goal, 2 trash cans, was getting quite dented. The idea was to supply them equipment and a storage space. We also thought about the other kids who frequent the park, the ones who aren't into soccer. Sean proposed a poll of what they most wanted to play, and we would supply for that. The winners were volleyball and baseball. Now there are regular matches every weekend. This was an extremely efficient and cost-effective way to enrich some lives. The parents, as noted, are very pleased. They bring us all after-game snacks. They bring after-game stacks. They all know who we work for and what we stand for. Wasn't that the point? To spread awareness of how community-minded of a company we are? For the very few you talk to, yes. The tournament's going to cover your ass and bring in more people. I'm doing you a favor. Really? Well then, thank you for your help. Looks smug. Brenda grips her hand into a fist. I am happy that the soccer idea worked. I was initially concerned that it would peter out. But, as you said, Franc's been the shining beacon for these kids. They just keep coming back for more. The parents are the business side of this. They'll spread word of the company, how it connects people. Looks to Linda. And your tournament will spread this even further. Ted's team did well. They provided quality over quantity. Who spread this high quality into bigger space. I look forward to seeing the results. I suppose you're right, looks at Frank, but I stand on my other point. You went with the idea of sport at the park, nothing on the scale of the crab night. It just looks so... like Frank wanted to play instead of work. And what's more, you've all bonded quite closely with this fresh hire. 2 years he's been with us, and it took only a few months for you all to become friends. Hence, a non-manager is in this meeting. Can you really trust him with the word deal in the context it currently holds in the world? Frank is a pivotal member of my team. His insights have been invaluable, and, as we both noted, he's been of great influence to the community. Agreed. Frank has been with us for a relatively short time, but has been of great service. I was frankly surprised how fast the job was filled. And by someone truly talented, top-notch programming knowledge, more than just any engineers. Then there's a natural charisma. It's hard to get kids to bond so quickly to someone. The fact that you all formed a friendship so quickly speaks volumes. Yes, Frank here is lacking experience and company knowledge, but he is well on the way to reaching manager quality. Looks at Frank, not to embarrass you further, but I see you as a budding seed to grow into a grand tree that will support our branches. Linda's jaw drops. Looks to Linda, ignoring her plight. Him knowing about the deal isn't any concern. He's still going to work his butt off to ensure our success. Everything he's done up to this point proves his work ethic and commitment to the community. Anything else? No, sir. The food drives have gone well, but the first 18 months back was a bit costly on us. We had to be the primary donor to make it look like a lot of people were participating. We had some of our employees do the legwork as well, lots of overtime hours. I lent you some of my people. They were happy to do the work, and even offered to do it for free. I am thankful for these volunteers. They were a big help on the second drive 9 months ago. Though we had immediate volunteers by that point. I custom bags from the first really spread word. I was surprised when you proposed them. I thought just a sticker would do. I thought we should go for the whole mile. Bags sporting. Bag sporting. Our logo. Images that advertise what we do and a contact number. I believe we did get some business out of it. I am always impressed by ingenuity. You, too, are an asset. Thanks, sir. This last drive saw hundreds of people. 5 times what we got before. Summer is more of a common name around the city. News of our drive spread quickly. Even those who didn't participate will know our name. That goal has certainly been met. Impressive. You think so? I give credit where it's due. You deserve kudos for this. I mean it. The third drive is to be in June. I was thinking uniforms. Sorry, we don't have the budget for that. A hat, then. We don't need to make them. They can just use a sticker for our info. Huh. Sure, we can do that. That's everything. Sits back down, happy. Gray looks at Rupert. He stands. As we have no customer base beyond contractors, I've needed support from both of you to accomplish my ideas. I decided to make an interactive website, connect the community digitally to us. Looks at Linda. I made some crude designs and gave them to Linda brush up. Let's see, Ted is now not tech, so I have to adjust this. Because Ted was the Ted person, now it's negotiations, so this doesn't make any sense. But Ted does have some... So perhaps he just got Franc and borrowed him for a bit. I did have to ask a little bit of web developers research how to best do this. Ted, you lended me Franc. You lent me Franc. Do this. Alright, little bit of web developers. Search how to best do this. Ted, you lent me Franc, whose knowledge was of great help. Okay, you let me Franc, whose engineering knowledge was of great help. Not so Franc. Looks at Greg. It'll have bulletin boards for events, some chat rooms, and I'll have well-versed members of my team work as moderators. They'll also answer questions. The pay raise was certain, but a necessary one. It's also cheaper than hiring new people. I can't wait to see this in action. What of your previous project? Yes, I improved the company's website. It was antiquated and plain. It now looks fresh and features a prominent new section, video demonstrations. I've had some of our completed projects recorded. Which ones? Just some of our own. I wouldn't want to breach any contracts, whether finished or current. Okay, then. I even had some small custom projects made and put forth publicly. I'll even... I have to fix this phrasing. It doesn't quite mesh well. Ordered, filed for... Alright. Even questions of small projects and put them forward publicly. Working with Ted's and Linda's teams at times. Some of their soccer games had a robotic referee raising flags to abundant flick. Though my personal favorite was a robotic arm playing chess. Which actually beat some locals. That's about it for my report. Greg nods to Rupert, moving his gaze to Ted. Ted leans forward, getting serious. Other than the park sports, we've been trying a crab night. This one, looks at Linda, reached hundreds on the first night. Linda looks away. My team built a sizable pool to house various crabs. Patrons must find some way to get the crabs out, providing nets, tongs, and gloves to the more adventurous. They then cook them up and enjoy a good dinner. Even gloves are more adventurous. But they're not alone in this. We found a local sushi chef who wanted some free advertising. We do pay her a little, but it's chump change. She also loves to teach, so the cooking lessons are very energetic. Maybe I should drop by. I do like hot crab.
I always carry tartar sauce.
Sounds like a plan. We tried other seafoods. We made a few smaller pools, but people still have to catch the food. These ones have fishing poles and bait. The parents guide their kids to catch a good one. It's a great family night.
Isn't raw fish a bit dangerous?
The chef has her assistants inspect all the work. Once they give the thumbs up, the sushi goes down the hatch. Leans back again. Linda, let's combine the crab night with the food drive. People can come in, catch a meal, and learn how to give back.
Yes, sir.
Rupert will be going into robotics production once this is all over. We'll need some place for... Need a place. For customer reviews, a suggestion box. I've already started working on that. We'll have a page for our products, reviews, suggestions, ordering, the whole works. Good, then that finishes our business here. Keep up the good work. You're all dismissed. The groups gather the papers and stand. Linda's the first out, exchanging smiles with Greg as she leaves. Rupert nods and exits. Ted thumbs up and leaves, following by his retinue. Franc, I have some more business with you. Come back in 5. Yes, sir. As they exit, Sean fist bumps Franc. The others smile. They have a feeling about what Greg wants to talk about. For the next 5 minutes, they chat in the hallway. Ted gives advice on how to talk to Greg, how to leave a good impression on him. Dominic notes that Linda's too quick to anger to serve as a brand support. Sean fires back that Dominic's want to talk. The two have a minor argument, but Sean drops it quickly. Ted and Franc push the point, ending in a few jokes. Once time's up, Franc heads back into the meeting room. Waving goodbye to his friends, he says himself, this is going to be the most important talk he's ever had. Important meeting. Alright, let's finish off this tea. Scene 2, a private talk. Franc knocks on the door and is called in. I should separate that one out. He enters, passes the seat to Greg's immediate right and sits to the next one. A bold move. Please forgive Linda. She's very protective this summer. I haven't seen her warm up to anyone in less than a few years. She'll come around eventually. I take no offense. I can understand her perspective. That's just how she is. No harm in that. I have spent much time with Ted and the team. I have earned their trust. I earned that trust. Linda, I've spoken with maybe a couple of times. Besides, it will take more than that to shake me up like a milkshake. Yeah, I figured as much. Ted defended himself well against her accusations. Not the manager should be arguing, openly, and during a meeting, but it's good to see some vigor on occasion. I knew Ted would take the high road and respond respectfully. He's been a good mentor and a terrific man. He's the manager of negotiations for a reason. He's a true leader. I'm sure Linda is very good with her team. That's what I love about working here. So many personalities mixing together. The challenge is how to work with each other the best. Always up for a challenge. I knew it. Those are the words of a natural-born manager. You were made for it. I hope in the many years to come I'll have opportunity to prove so. As far as I'm concerned, you're just about there. Company experience is important, knowing how we work, why policy is what it is. But so is understanding your team, your role, and working together to make something great. I already see this in you four, a fast friendship. It was not too quick. It was some months before we started the soccer. Is that really how you all first got together? You got them to play soccer. I am quite persuasive. Smiles. I was approved of the job, yes? Yes. Yes, you were. It was a fun outing. So much so that we meet every other week. Some kids would play near us, and I invited them to join. We've been having matches ever since. When Ted proposed this sports idea, I was a little baffled. That's not really his thing. Then I heard about your soccer prowess, and it made sense. I let it through. I wanted to see what you were capable of. I sit here impressed. To reach the hearts of today's kids who'd normally be inside with video games, I am astonished, truly. I can't wait to see this tournament. That would be quite the show. You are free to join us in the park as well, a regular match. Oh, no, I'm well past my prime. I'd just slow you all down. You are still a spring chick. Huh. Seriously, though. I've seen what the kids can do to a man. I don't need any broken ribs at my age. I have not been injured yet, nor do I plan to. I have not been injured yet, nor do I plan to be. You'll do it just fine. Yeah, I haven't hit up a gym in years. Like a certain someone at this table. Do you grate cheese or beef? I wouldn't want to clean up that mess. The two men chuckle, as though friends. Back to what I was saying before. You've got all the traits of a good manager. You brought together 4 men. 3. Men who, to my knowledge, never spoke outside of work. You were an inspiration to the next generation, starting with a simple game of soccer. I've seen your work, too. It's beyond what most here could accomplish. You go above and beyond what's expected. We're truly blessed when you walk through the front doors. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. If there's anything else I can do for you, you need but ask. Thinks to himself. Yes, I'm certain. Looks to Franc. Yes, I'm certain now. I have some things I wish to discuss. I can't just tell anyone what I'm about to say. I can't tell just anyone. I can't tell just anyone what I'm about to say. Not even Linda, despite her decades here. She might blab while going off on some intern. I need someone discreet. I have to tell somebody who's in the know. It's been a hefty weight I've carried for the last 2 years. Greg, sir, I am at your disposal. I will listen and try to ease your burdens. If I can help you relax, to get this off your chest, then I will be overjoyed. Both for your health and for the company. That's just what I wanted to hear. Okay, here it goes. I have a secret I've kept all to myself. If this leaked out, it would ruin us. My lips are sealed. As you are certainly aware, there's a promising robotics company in the United Kingdom. Of the many, this one has pronounced plans to sell. That doesn't make quite sense there. It has announced plans to sell. Not the highest bidder or anything normal. They want someone in particular to buy them out, a company that meets certain standards.
Ah, yes, robotics life. I hear many companies are scrambling to suit their needs. Though, Real, as I've heard, has not yet stated what they're looking for.
Why do you think that is?
I would wager they want someone legitimate. If they want their desires public too soon, then everyone would immediately switch gears to look good. I believe Real wants a company that truly measures up. Not one that is putting on airs just to get their hands on them.
That is exactly right, and I know that is right.
I see. An inside line? Ah, this is the deal. This is the deal?
And this is why we've been working so hard? I do have one, and it is. I have an old friend there who used to work for us. She said it was a move. She said it was to move on to better things. I was upset, but that's business. She said. That's a better way of saying that. She left to move on to better things, she said. I was upset, but that's business. I was surprised when she reached out. According to her, we are a very good match for what Real is looking for. She's fed me some of this information, the secret criteria they've been holding on to. All this talk of them working on it is just a show. They're waiting and watching. Only when they have their picks will they make the big announcement. They'll see which of the companies they've had their eyes on make the bid.
That is great news. We must be in good standing now, yes?
I hope so. The company events were a major one. Real provides lots of events and services over there. They want a company that provides for the community. That's also why we upgraded our customer services.
It's all about people.
Well, to some extent. These services still cost a lot of money. Our expenses on these projects I've kept quiet. Real prioritizes efficiency within themselves, a strict budget. The company's stuff is to make them look good and to spread their name. It's basically advertising. It just has the benefit of being good to the community.
Of course, there's a business side. There's no point servicing the community if you don't get something back. Like how our events advertise us.
It's more than that. They are really stringent with their money. To meet this and to pay for the projects, I've had to cut back on some things. What do you think of the coffee machine?
It tastes quite good and excellent quality.
Yeah. The barista wasn't worth the expense. She's been with us for 6 years, paying her way through college. The wage was high given her work volume and our standards, but I'm sure she's doing fine at Starbucks or something.
Can she not get a student loan?
You haven't seen American student loans, but what's done is done. It was for the sake of the company, for our future.
Expansion is important for any company.
Expansion? That doesn't quite fit what we're doing here. Hold on. Does expansion make sense? The future is to be advertised, so yeah, I guess expansion will work. It's not just expansion. Real is world renowned for producing chips and robotics. Buying them out would give us a production line. We can make our own products. We're also on the global. We may be on the global table, but are far too small to really compete. There's a reason Ted has assistant managers. We need all the negotiating power we can get. We've done so much for the city's people. Real must certainly be watching us. I hope. Anyway, we've made cuts in places. Bruce was one of them. We replaced the security team with cameras. I liked them, good people. It's a shame we couldn't keep them. A one-time purchase outweighs the cost of salary.
I just remembered. We have a no sorting machine in the mailroom, right?
Hmm.
But the company comes first.
Yes, we let go most of the mailing staff. The machine is much better anyway. It was actually free. We did the programming some years ago. The contractor was happy to send us one.
A few less salaries to pay. It is sad to let people go, but if we go under, that's much worse, yes?
Yes, that's quite right.
Though, even with releasing a few people, we're bound to reach a financial crisis.
We are already feeling the strain. But that's part of efficiency. We find a balance point where we can have the needed expenses while keeping this place running. I've even taken a pay cut before starting all of this, put a little into the piggy bank.
I'd expect nothing less.
I can do with one less car anyway. My wife can share mine.
Couples must learn to share, especially in hard times.
But we are still in trouble, yes? You wouldn't fight anyone unless the need was dire. We are, but I've already made an emergency move. A pay cut, a minor one, to everyone below manager level. I need my higher-ups to stay on board. We can save a lot with just 15% less to everyone else.
I will play my part.
You didn't get a cut.
Sir?
You are special. I'm not risking you.
Sir, I am here to stay. My home is very affordable. My fiancé also works. We are well covered.
You shouldn't show special treatment. Still, I don't feel right paying you any less. If anything, you deserve a raise, and a whopping one at that.
Sir, please, let us wait until the deal is over. Rewards and any overdue pay can be handled then. In the meantime, I hope no one finds out that detail. No one learns that detail. It could lead to a mass exodus.
I think they'll understand.
We can tell them that the cut was just a down payment on something.
A down payment, really?
Or a down payment on something better. They'll get it back soon, and then some. The down payment for something amazing. They'll get it back soon, and then some.
That's the plan. We need more people like you.
When you acquire real, I'll see to it.
And that you may, depending on what your position is when this is all done.
Will I be somewhere less?
When the deal is done. This is all over. I have done use too many times. When the deal is done, we'll have this branch and the UK branch. I'll be handling the UK, but I need someone to hold things down here, someone I can trust with a credible business sense.
Sir, I am touched you would think of me, but Linda has seniority. I think giving her the job may be best.
With her personality, that is questionable. But the move will take time, enough to teach someone the ropes. Though you're not wrong about Linda. I could attempt to shore up her problems. Then there's Rupert, maybe Ted. I don't know. Fortunately, I have a plan that will save me from having to consider 4 people. May I ask? I will tell. I have a new task for you. This is on top of the negotiation work and the community stuff. You see, there's one more thing I was told Real was looking for. They want to see success outside of the company. They wish for a CEO who can prosper in many fields and manage multiple businesses at once. Real secretly holds ownership to various lucrative properties, apparently for rainy day funds. Makes sense, doesn't it? Anyone would want to have an emergency stash, although I don't see how we afford this. It's part of what we're saving for. Most of the events are done. The rest of the budget is for this. The problem is, as you say, affording it. Even though we do have money, property is expensive. We need cheap ones, but quality is also important. Looks at Franc. I need someone with incredible social skills, negotiating experience, and a gift of persuasion. This shall be my focus. Do you have any in mind? Will I be running them as well? Oh no, we just need to be the owners. Neither of us will be a day-to-day manager or anything. The place's staff will deal with it. As for potential leads, I've been too busy to look into it. You have to investigate from scratch. Find good properties, determine if they're worth investment, and get the best possible deal for us. I'll get right on it. The actual purchase is not important. We just need to be able to claim we're doing so and with proof. You'll just be researching and getting a feel of the current owners. Have some talks. I need some offers by the time of the deal, so in a month or two. The real important part here is the secrecy. No one, absolutely no one, can know that I'm the actual prospective buyer. If any of what I've shared with you, even my application, gets out, other companies will follow suit. They're already scrambling, doing whatever they think real might like. No one would guess the secrets I told you, and I don't plan to give any hints. Understood, I will be very undercover. Regarding the secrecy, you also can't tell Ted or any of the other managers. If this deal falls through, it'll be the end of us. We won't have any budget left. Hundreds will lose their job. I understand, sir. I promise to not utter a word to anyone. Oh, thank you, Franc. I don't know what I would do without you. You may rejoin your colleagues. I will report that in a month. Nods and leaves. Making progress here. Ugh. Scene 3. Soccer in the park. After a review meeting and a full day of work, Franc and his team ride the trolley to the park. The park is sizable, a few city blocks worth of grass, a few bathrooms, if you can call them that, and plenty of trees, bushes, and benches. There are many who frequent this place during the day up until it closes at 7 p.m. Nearby are apartments overlooking this beauty. Apartments are nearby, overlooking this beauty. A number of kids living within will play soccer in the grass. Alright. They house a number of kids who will play soccer in the grass. Who plays soccer in the grass? It is here that Franc and company first met them, and a bond was formed over defeating Franc. Every other Wednesday and some weekends, they all have a few matches. One or more parents are always present, usually cheering for their stars. Occasionally, they bring after-game snacks and drinks, a picnic after a good day of fun. Today, kids will be busy for that longer. Each school is doing a little festival as Carnival nears. Despite being from different age groups and schools, they are all occupied until 6 p.m. This works out for 3 of the team, as they have a little surprise for Franc. There won't be any soccer until the kids arrive, but that doesn't mean they can't pass the ball around, or multiple balls of various kinds. The quartet will arrive together and stand in the field. Franc has been eyeing the little bags they brought with them. Rather than ask, he figured they'd tell him when they arrived, given how giddy they are, smirking. As expected, they unzip and each pull out something different. Dominic removes a baseball. Ted takes out a hacky sack. Sean pulls free a shuttlecock. The other two look at him bewildered. Sean stares at the hacky sack with a look of, really? Dominic snickers at Sean, who just shrugs it off. Frank raises an eyebrow and goes, "You get a soccer ball from the shed." "You know, we could have just stocked these inside. Maybe let others play those sports, as you call them. Badminton is a perfectly good and cherished sport. I grew up with it." "Rich boy." "We had a moderate home." "I may do this little thing," shakes a sack. "I don't need any racket, or bat for that matter. This is American pastime. I've always seen tennis badminton once on TV. And shut it off immediately. As for the sack, only tech people who think of themselves as, quote, gifted use them. They're certainly special, all right. Since you've never used this, I guess I'll win this little contest today. I'll throw a ball and underhand that thing just fine. I look forward to you buying me around." "I have the best footwork here of everyone, except Frank. That's going to change today. But compared to you two, I've got an amazing step, an incredible aim with a soccer ball. I'm not going to fumble the little sack, and that netball thing is going to get spiked." "You can't spike a shuttlecock. With that attitude, no wonder no lady's ever done yours." "It's no wonder no lady's ever done yours. Just you never crossed home plate, sitting in your recliner, sipping a soda." Dominic starts, but Frank holds up a hand. I think we've talked enough about these optics of yours. What are we to do with them? Sounds like a round of passing. Last one standing. We each start with our preferred weapon in hand." Frank juggles a soccer ball with his knee, never breaking eye contact. "And we are to pass to each other, one at a time in a circle. I can call out reverse, at which time we go in the other direction. I recommend paying attention. You must pass the ball in any acceptable way, and are out if you fail to get it to the other person." This is a bit verbose. Out if you fail to get the ball to the other person. You're also out if you fail to acquire it. No sabotages, Dominic. Dominic crosses his arm, looking away. You also can't just hold it. Keep it in motion. Tossing up and down, juggling around, etc. Those are the rules. How do I use those two? Frank points to the shuttlecock and hacky sack. A bit of practice, then? Nope. Dominic tosses his baseball to Sean, who catches it just in time. Sean then underhands the shuttlecock to Ted. He easily catches it in one hand. Ted kicks over the sack to Frank. Being a soccer star, he easily catches it with his foot and heads it up to his hand. Ted looks a little dismayed, but this game has only just begun. Frank headbutts the soccer ball to Dominic. He, too, catches his quarry. The four men look at each other. The tension rises. They know what must be done. Frank is the first to strike, taking the initiative. He drops-kicked the sack to Dominic, but Dominic was prepared, launching the soccer ball with a knee to Sean. The sack is quickly caught, nearly fumbling, but Dominic acts natural. Sean, meanwhile, was caught off guard. He does manage to toss over the baseball, but the soccer ball hits him in the back and bounces to the grass. The first is out. Ted catches the baseball, easily, and one-handed. The other underhand bats the shuttlecock, a spike. Frank's delivery of the hacky sack was so quick he was back in position by the time Ted's hand raised. He usually catches the cock. Sean, now of competition, takes his shuttlecock and sits down. He is displeased, but expected this to happen. Just not in the first round. Frank retakes his ball from Sean, raring to continue. The moment he's back in the circle, Dominic launches a sack over to Ted. Not missing a beat, Ted catches it and throws a little outside pitch to Frank. Frank leads to his side to catch. In the same motion, kicks a high one to Dominic. Dominic has to step back a few paces, but doesn't fail to catch the fly ball. The moment he does, though, Frank immediately pelts the baseball his way, throwing a little curveball. Dominic lunges to catch it, but he hits the grass, his face red. I didn't know you played baseball, Frank. I did not. Is that normal? Are you fucking kidding me? Dominic slams his fist into the ground, over and over. Various curses escape his mouth as the grass flattens.
Caught off guard, were you?
Shame that. Don't you start. I didn't fumble the first round.
But you still fumbled. Come, sit next to me. The Hall of Losers could use a second seat.
Dominic grumbles to himself. He grips his baseball tightly, considering something, but doesn't. He's no fool. Instead, the man just tosses a soccer ball to Ted, who sits where he is. Well, it's just you and me. So it is. Manager versus employee. Who will come out on top? You've seen some of my skills, but I've got others in reserve. Feet only. Looks down. Feet only. And head. No, just feet. But not in reverse. Not that kind of reverse, and I may yet call it out for a later game. Let's have a glance. The two stare each other down. Ted, having forgotten he's holding both balls, tosses over the hacky sack. Frank and he now wait for the right moment. Ted starts kicking around the soccer ball. Frank does the same to the hacky sack. Despite being a sack, Frank is easily kicking it around. Those decades of soccer are no joke. Frog makes it look easy. Ted smiles. Frank smiles back. Ted launches the ball. Frank kicks over the sack, but a few feet to the right. He steps back and catches the ball between his knee and leg, quickly letting it roll down to his foot. Nearly ready to fire back. Ted catches his hacky sack easily with his foot, just in time for a soccer ball to fly towards him in nearly a straight line. Ted acts quickly, kicking the sack high above him, and attempting to use the same leg to catch the line drive. He hits his shin and bounces away. The sack lands on the ground. Ted stops the ground in frustration. He lost fair and square. After a few moments, he calms. Oh, well, I tried. Frank has won. You were too kind. You were close, but I am well experienced in kicking things around. The sack stood no chance. I just figured that it being lumpy and all. I just figured that it being lumpy and unbalanced, that you'd have trouble. That needs to be fixed. I just figured since it's lumpy and unbalanced, that you'd have trouble. It was my best shot. The Baba thing was more of a threat. Do I need to show you Babington videos? That is alright. Your loss? It's really not. Tennis is tennis anywhere you go. Just gonna ignore that one. You bet you are. Dominic smirks at Sean, who just leers at him for a moment before turning away. So, a casual round then? We've only burned 5 minutes. I'm game. Okay then, the four pass their balls around, talking about the day and their lives in general. So, when's the marriage? Underhands the cock to Sean. I'm thinking half a year more. Marie hasn't given her inputs yet. You've been engaged for a year. I'd think this would be dialed in by now. Once that party is over, I think we shall discuss it. Underhands the baseball to Dominic. It's overhand, Frank. Only wussies do it underhand. And who does engagement anniversaries? I've heard of it being done. Usually the marriage comes in after a year, though, right? Actually, though, the marriage comes before. Alright, I need to fix this as well. Hmm.
Foreign marriages take a while.
Some people can take years. Eh, like you, though in your case would be first base.
I've had plenty of good relationships. I'm just in the off season.
In spring,
There's schools and things keeping women busy.
do you really have to stop going? Hmm. You really have to stop going after single mothers. Just because you like kids doesn't mean you have to start with one. Or is it? Ah, yes, impotence.
Wearing a condom or finishing outside isn't a sign. Finishing outside isn't a sign of impotence. It's not a lack of confidence, just precaution. Just because you prefer throwing a fastball without a mitt.
Well, are you going for single women or not? Single moms or not? Hmm.
I go for both. I'm just going for a single.
Hmm. So you're going for single moms or one without baggage? Or women without baggage?
I go for both. I'm just open to possibilities. It's not like I'd know when I first look at her.
I'd say the baggy eyes and belly would give it away.
Could you stop bringing up your childhood? The men continue to rip on Sean's lackluster sex life, eventually moving on to sports.
Will you be taking on the appellants today? If Jonathan and the others are here, then I'll cream them. Once I'm done with you, of course. Save it for our weekend. We only have an hour with them today. Hey, if they're raring to go, then I'll beat Franc in one match and we'll head off.
So you plan on not promising them anything? Can't go breaking promises like that.
How about the promise of a speedy marriage, eh, Franc?
I just said that she's not settled on a date.
She's just holding out for more parties.
I think she'll be potted out after the next few weeks. Got something else going on? Next week is a surprise party for her best friend. She just earned a PhD.
Is she available? Asking for a friend.
Is she pretty? You can find out for yourself. It is this day next week. Damn, I have to watch my nephews. Better luck next time. Back to the important thing. What are parties you got lined up? Just this engagement party in 3 weeks. 2 parties in a month is still a lot. You bring food or wine, a pretzel platter. You would do that.
You would do that.
Just a piece of advice. That's not usually what Americans bring to parties. They do bread dips, chips, maybe a fruit bowl. Some, like Sean's family, might bring shrimp. We never did. Just stuck with the tried and true bread and dip. Not even wine. Someone else was going to bring wine. No need to make expense. So, cheapskates. Saving and planning for the future. Then that would be the first to start this new trend.
Sure.
Hey now, Ted, you can post an article on Reddit, give an inside view to news customs about the sale of the nation. My articles aren't for introducing things. They're to give insight to the less educated. I'm sure everyone you've ever posted was happy for your input. I'm sure everyone you've ever posted to was happy for your input. So happy they cried, and cried, and cried. Criticism can be harsh. I was never judgmental, just direct. They continue on with Ted, really letting him have it. As expected, as an experienced Redditor, Ted has helped many learn the errors in their ways. The 3 less varied examples of how Ted has saved the world. The men take a break from each other, getting some water and playing on their phones. Quickly enough, 6 o'clock comes around. Their teammates arrive at last, 4 kids ranging from ages 8 to 14. They briefly talk about their school project for Carnival, asking if Franc would drop by. He says he'd love to, but can't. He has to finish preparations for the engagement anniversary, itself to take place on the last day of Carnival.
They're disheartened, but Dominic grabs the soccer ball and heads to the field, boldly claiming that Franc is going down today. The first two matches are as usual. Franc and Sean pair up, Dominic and Ted in kind. The kids disseminate based on whether they want to join Franc or work to finally defeat him. Franc's team, as usual, wins, but he's a gracious winner, giving pointers and compliments to the kids. They absorb these like water to a towel. His words, his presence, his sportsmanship. Let's colon that out. He is a great role model. And yeah. He's a grand role model and greatly appreciated by the parents. The kids shuffle around, so they all have turns against Franc. The next few matches also go as usual. This is the point when the managers plot with the kids on how exactly to take Franc down. The plans never succeed, but some come close. A glint of hope revigorates and inspires the kids to keep trying. This is also the point where they bend some rules. Franc allows the kids to attempt to tackle him and otherwise play rough. The adults are forbidden, of course. Still, Franc is untouchable. Though Sean takes some hits. He's used to it from the two nephews. So it's no problem for him. As 7 p.m. nears, everyone is panting and sweating. Once again, Franc's team is undefeated. Once again, the kids had a blast. Parents thank the four men. Families say their goodbyes and head home. The four also need to head home, but they have their farewells first. Good tries, but you are still a far way off from defeating me. Still a far way. You are still a far way. Yeah. Way is off from defeating me. Your time's coming, my friend. Just you wait. Sean rubs at some faint bruises, smiling. They're stronger. I'll have to work out a tad more. I'll have to visit the gym a tad more. I think I'll join you. I'd like to be on Franc's side next time, see if I can handle some crazy kids. Aiming for a single mother, too. No, that's Sean's domain. It's a good field, you know. I prefer a single woman, booking the coffee shop. I really must be going. See you tomorrow to work. Franc turns to leave, but Dominic drops an arm over his shoulder midway. Not so fast. We still have one thing left to resolve. We do? Franc here. Had a private talk with Greg. We still haven't heard what happened. Oh yeah. I was going to wait for him to tell us, but since you brought it up. All three look at Franc, expecting an answer. He just looks back. I'm afraid that is a secret. But when the time is right, I will tell all. Franc turns the rest of the way and heads off. The others chuckle. This is such a Franc thing to say. If he doesn't want to tell, nothing can sway him. The three go their separate ways to enjoy what is left of their evenings. Alright, that handles part 2. One more part, then I think I'll probably stop. Part 3, A Party for April. Scene 1, Kevin and Marie. The following Tuesday is a special day. This is a celebration for April, Marie's best friend who just earned her PhD. It's being held in Kevin's house, one of her and Marie's best friends. Kevin's home is fairly standard for a townhouse. In fact, it's the same design as Marie's. It is 3 stories tall with a small garage in the front. No lawn, of course. The first floor is the main hangout area. Living room, study, fireplace, garage for reclusive types. Not that there are many in Kevin's friend group. Many like that. The second floor has the kitchen and bathroom. The third floor has 2 bedrooms, master and guest. The party will be held on just the first and second floors. On the first 2 floors. The second floor has platters of snack food and drinks in the kitchen. The first floor is where most socializing will take place. It is here that everyone first gathers. It has 2 couches ready to serve. The table has been placed for a small pile of gives. Is in place. Holding a small pile of gifts. Just about everyone is already here. Arriving a full 15 minutes after them is Franc and Marie. Marie took longer than expected to do her hair, an understandable miscalculation. They walk up and Marie fishes out a key, unlocking the door. She opens, it is greeted by "Surprise!" Oh! A laughter erupts from the crowd. An embarrassed Marie enters and closes the door hurriedly.
Sorry, but hey, now you have practice.
While the others relax and talk amongst themselves. Alright. Get rid of all these notes there. A man wearing a tight shirt approaches. It is so tight that his abs easily show through as he steps. His toned chest is apparent at all times. Howdy there, little lady. Seems you gave us quite the scare.
I'm just a little chick lost and looking for a home.
Well, you found one full of hens and roosters.
Where's the dog? He was going to protect us against the wolves.
I've got 2 shooting irons, lefty and righty. Kiss his arms.
Like you'd actually punch someone.
If a scoundrel breaks into the coop, you can bet your bottom I'm going to chase out the varmints. Chains out the varmint.
Now that's more realistic.
Anyway, I'm glad you were finally here. I was getting worried you'd forgotten.
How could I forget? April's my best friend.
Maybe you got caught up in something. I don't know. I thought you'd be here first, ripe and early. But you're here now.
I'm not going to miss Maple's party for the world.
Raised his eyebrow. Even if zombies were crawling the streets?
Especially so, we have to cherish our time away from the destroyed world.
Not even when you 2 squeal at each other?
We do not squeal.
I assure you, this is true. Wrong. Good to have you. Claps shoulder. Hold on. Cherish our time away from the destroyed world. Alright, this line of Kevin's doesn't quite make sense. Sure, so much you 2 squeal at each other. I assure you, you do. This is true. Looks at Marie. We bought pretzels. Where is the food table? The kitchen, I bet. Walks upstairs. April doesn't like pretzels. I tried to tell him, but he insisted.
Someone would eat them.
Why not bring a fruit platter as well?
He said that would be rude. We should just bring one thing. He seems to think he can wing Marie April to pretzels. He was quite adamant.
Rough. Well, we have plenty anyway. Franc descends the stairs and rejoins. Well, you're both here before April, so I guess it all worked out. But it was supposed to be earlier. I was not informed. Marie and Kevin answered together. Daughter, it's fine. The two stifle a chuckle. But anyway, we're all set. Food's in place with the pretzels and all. The gifts are piled. Everyone's here.
Then we should pick a hiding spot.
Most of the good ones are taken. I was thinking of going beneath the table. Bea called that one. Kate's got some room by the curtains.
Then she'll be getting some company.
How long until April arrives? Soon, I'd imagine. Yeah, she's supposed to be here any minute. Then we really got it close. At least we didn't have to wait.
You could have talked to my friends if you got bored.
Speaking of which, well, who is Kate? Her? Franc looks to the corner of the room. A group of women chat, holding drinks. No, Kate is by the window. The one with the yellow hat? Oh, then off we go. Franc takes Marie's hand, guiding her to the hatted one. Kate waves excitedly. Looks given.
Talk to you later.
Follows Franc. Love to. Their friends chat for a while. Marie catches up with Kate, who laughs at Franc's jokes. A few others catch on to him and move closer, adding their own takes on alien food. It's only a few minutes until they all hutch. The curtains close, lights turn off, and everyone waits. For a certain woman was spotted pulling up. They'll get the right person this time. April exits her car and walks up to the door. She, too, pulls out some keys and locks it. She carefully opens, expectant. Once it is... I don't like using open twice. Carefully pushes, expectant. Once it is fully open, the light flicks on and people leap from all corners and calls out, "Surprise!" I think, thunk, falls immediately, and an ow! Bea, in her attempt to jump on the table, has bumped her back. The crowd snickers.
What? You don't want the drum solo?
Don't like my drum solo. Some friends help her up. Others chuckle. April just smiles and thinks, that's just like Bea. April closes the door and joins the party, already off to a great start. Alright, scene 2. Girl talk. The party is split into two. Although most of the hanging out is on the first floor, the second floor, the drinks floor, is seeing a lot of traffic. I don't like word hanging out. Most of the guests are on the first floor, the second floor, the drinks floor, it's seeing a lot of traffic. People go up sober and come down with a buzz. As expected, the party is going to be lively. A number of them hold pretzels. Franc did good. They're a hit. April just left a group of friends and is standing by the presents table, casually running her fingers against the wrapping paper. Marie creeps up, Franc slowly walking behind. She pounces on April with a hug around the neck. April lets off a surprised squeal.
You have to wait until Christmas.
April reaches her arms back around Marie's waist, a reverse hug. Bah, humbug. The two snort and giggle, hugging just a bit tighter.
Congratulations.
Congratulations yourself.
On what?
Your 1-year anniversary is coming. Your 1-year engagement anniversary, of course. You're both coming up in the world.
Well, that's not for another month. That's not until the end of the month. Today is your day, my precious, wishes, friendly woo.
Marie pinches April's cheek. April reaches up both hands and claps Marie's cheeks. rubbing them around. Marie pulls back, but not fast enough for April. She turns on a dime and sends both hands through her hair. Marie allows this. A secret greeting amongst friends? You've never shown me this.
It's a tradition from childhood. Normal people wouldn't understand.
Am I normal?
Well, you're special.
I say he is. Perfect physique, deadly looks, a terrific charisma. A lady killer in the making. You'll make call me Zeus.
Please don't turn into a cow and woo me.
I'll woo you. God, that snort. You two are too much. Well, Momo, that's a secret greeting.
No.
Not a secret if people can hear you, but I'll give it 6 out of 10. Then maybe we tap our udders.
What?
Oh, a chest bump. That's an idea.
What udders? Well, we're not frat guys.
They just perfected the ancient technique. They just perfected the ancient technique. You can put a modern spin on it. Yes, we can do that too. Franc slowly turns in place, a full 360 degrees ending at Marie. He then hoists his chest forward, an expectant look in his eyes. Marie backs up, face turning red.
I can't do that.
Don't know how. Don't worry, I've seen this so many times. I'm practically an expert. April sticks her chest out and slowly approaches. Various members of the crowd watch on, wondering what the hell they're doing. Franc strikes forward, the 2 inches apart. All right, Franc, on 3. 1, 2. Franc lurches forward, a surprise for April. Surprising April. She hadn't said 3 yet. His chest bumps into hers. It feels like she tried to pull down an ironing board, but it fell on her instead. Memories of her teen years flash. No, let's do this. It feels like... Alright. The times she tried to pull down ironing board, but it fell on her instead. Her body shuffles backwards.
April, are you okay?
Fine, I'm fine. That was my fault. I should have clarified about the count. I'm sorry, I went too hard. No problems there. It's a rare treat for a woman to feel such a strong, sturdy man. Do you even work your arms? It felt like a truck under there. Sometimes I prefer a strong core. Good choice. You are one lucky lady.
Let's get you checked out upstairs.
Grabs April's shoulder. Yeah, I could use a drink. Drown away my sorrows. I'm never scoring someone this hot. I leave the first floor to you. We seem to have confused some people. I can see Julie trying to demonstrate our technique to some of our drunker friends. I suppose I can do this.
Don't say anything about our secret greeting, please.
I will not. I'll assure you. I can't have Julie trying that on me, at Jules. I'll dissuade as much as I can. Thanks, you're a real champ. Come on, Marie, we have a month to catch up on. The women head up. Marie places April at the kitchen counter. No, April places Marie at the kitchen counter. No, wait, who's taking who? Marie is pushing April. Alright. And pours 2 glasses of wine. She sits beside her friend.
You're a miracle worker. Getting away from Franc for a minute can be tough.
It should be easy for you. But maybe you're both so accustomed to each other that you can't move him on your own anymore.
Something like that. He's so convincing when he speaks. I can't do that. This is why you're the educated one. You're smart.
You're not wrong, but is there some trouble between you and Franc?
No, nothing like that. Just... let's not talk about it. How about you? You little overachiever. How'd you manage a PhD after all these years? You could barely study in high school.
Oh, it was tremendously difficult. It was tremendously difficult. There's a reason PhDs are rare, but I found a way to focus. It's worked wonders.
A secret technique?
Something like that.
You can tell me.
If you tell me. Glances away, tenses.
Never mind. What do you plan for future work?
I'm thinking the city. We could use a few more bridges.
A PhD in architecture, you want to label bridges?
No, I want super bridges. 12 lanes either way. And I think some bathrooms. Marie laughs.
Eh.
I always hate being stuck on these tiny bridges and having to go.
Bathrooms?
Better than going over the side, right?
I was 19. I wasn't alone. Someone also had the spicy curry.
It was delicious. No wonder. Now imagine if it were available on the bridge, in a restaurant for passing motorists, with public toilets all along the bridge. On the bridge, the restaurant for passing motorists, and public toilets all along the road.
I think these toilets will be full, and people want to go to the edge again.
The restaurants will have stairs at the water's edge. Well, little stalls.
Oh my God, April.
Then to the edge of the bridge.
Watch out below. I pity the seamen.
It'll warm them up.
Ah, April, stop.
I'm just saying, a super bridge would sure be nice.
You're too much.
And with this big degree, I can easily convince the city to do it.
Fat chance you have a better shot winning the lottery.
Just because you gave up at 100 tickets. They laugh and joke, reminiscing on teenage shenanigans for 15 minutes. Childhood friends never miss a beat. This is too much for me. Is there a bench nearby? I really have to go.
Enough of the bridges. You're worse than the pigeons.
At least I take careful aim.
Oh, gross.
I'll be back in a bit. Try not to miss me too much. April leaves to the bathroom around the corner. The door opens and shuts. Hopefully she'll be there for a while, Marie thinks.
Oh, talking to April really takes so much out of me. Time for some snacks.
Marie reaches out and grabs a handful of pretzels. She releases immediately, now searching for anything else in reach. A tap on her shoulder. She turns to see Kevin behind her, holding a tray. Some vendor for the lady.
Oui, oui.
Marie takes one of the apple slices and dips firmly into the goo. I made this myself.
Quite the artisan. It takes real talent to melt cheese.
I have some spices in there.
Salt.
Nothing but.
How simplistic.
But it gets the job done. That look in your face says so.
I just thought I'd be nice. Make it look like I really liked your cooking.
She picks up a celery stick, dips and chomps down. It's now singing partially out of her mouth. In that case, grabs Tilly, I'll be taking that back. Marie grabs his hand, attempting to pull free the precious fondued vegetable. Kevin moves with her, keeping the green grasped. Marie bites down, severing it, chews and swallows. How is that supposed to move? Grabs his hand. He just keeps the green grasped.
I decided to share instead.
How kind of you, just have. Thought you were pretending to like it.
I am. I just didn't want you to take what was mine.
It's my food, so technically you were borrowing it. I wanted it back.
And you got it back. That piece I was willing to part with. Very good, I'd have fought for it.
You wound me. A mighty verbal strike. I yield.
It's not that bad. I do like my cheeses.
Hence I made it. It's cheddar, your favorite.
What about April's?
You know she thinks fondue is overpriced.
It is.
And prefers just plain cheese sandwich.
Her loss.
Another vegetable is lathered and makes a journey to Marie's mouth, never to be seen again. Kevin continues to mess around with the partner, horsing it up with her. None bear witness to this display. We may want to move this.
Retreating.
Tactile reposition. This battle is too gruesome for civilians.
Fair, if you'd survive a fondue war.
How about resume our talk upstairs?
You think it beat me in celery?
I was thinking of smothering you in carrots.
So fat celery.
The two head upstairs, but before they arrive, something else is taking place. While they were fighting over snacks, someone was at work in Kevin's bathroom. A lone figure hastily opening drawers in his dresser. Hold on. So I think I need to change the scene. It's no longer really girl talk, is it? Yeah, I'm going to add a scene note in here. Alright, so scene 1 was Kevin and Marie, correct? Yeah, Kevin and Marie. And scene 2 is girl talk. This is technically a different scene, so let us make it scene 3. A private chat. We'll just do for that. So note, scene, stuff. Actually, I should do that right now, shouldn't I? Before I make this into an issue, that is now scene 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the last one. Alright, so we're just going to go back up to where we just were. Alright then, back to April.
Did he move it? Gah, why can't the man just keep it in one place?
April closes that drawer and tries another, rifling her hand through his clothing. His clothes, nothing. She closes that one and tries the very bottom. Filling up his underwear and socks. Found it.
Finally, why keep his stash with his underwear? It was better off with the shirts. Whatever, I just need a little.
She pulls out a little bag, opening it to reveal Kevin's secret cache of money. He keeps it in case of emergency. I want to rephrase this and opens it. Kevin's secret cache of money that he keeps in case of emergencies. Alright, inside is Kevin's secret cache of money that he keeps in case of emergencies. No, keeps for emergencies. There's a few thousand, a mix of 20s and hundreds. Last week she took 500. This week she has 200 of her own. She just needs just another 300 more from Kevin. She'll replace all of this later, when she gets a good job. For now, this is an emergency for her. Kevin wouldn't understand. This new stuff better be worth it. Will pockets the money, replaces the bag, closes the door, and exits. She hears people hunting up, lightly Kevin and Marie, from the laughter. Given the banter. She ducks into the guest room. The pair arrive on the 3rd floor and enter Kevin's bedroom. April hastily makes her exit back down. Kevin and Marie sit on the bed, sharing the platter. They discuss their lives in general, joke and laugh. After a few minutes, they get back the immediate present.
April's amazing. To actually achieve a degree like that. So many years of work and study. I can't believe this is the same April who fell asleep in history every few days.
I guess she just needed the right thing to focus on. She's always loved building things. As long as she's interested in the topic, she can focus.
Feels like she's just passed us by. Imagine worth of doors are now open to her, while I'm just a priest at a coffee shop.
You can still have a good life. Work isn't everything. You have good friends. Joe trusts you more than any of his other employees. Hell, you could become his right hand. You know everything about the business. About his business.
I thought about it, but I wouldn't know what I was doing. I don't have an education.
You'll have first-hand experience. You've done all sorts of work for him on the side, too. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to have an assistant like you. I think you can do it. Why not try?
What if he says no?
At worst, he'll pay for your education, if you even need any. Trust me. Or something else. Maybe Franc. Maybe Franc.
What does Frank have to do with this?
Maybe you don't want to out-earn him.
I can never match his salary, no matter what I did.
Then maybe you don't want to become a manager before him.
No, that's not it.
Would you miss waiting for him in the shop, getting his coffee as usual?
Sorry,
I went a little off topic. Two pause for a bit. The air is a little stifling. After a few minutes, they both sigh. Marie tries to change the subject.
April's the talk of our little circle.
And you?
What?
You and Franc have made quite a stir. Everyone's talking about you two. The destined two. The destined pair. Marie immediately looks down, silent, staring at the floor as she clasps her hands. I take it you haven't told him yet. Is this to remain a secret forever? Tenses, bites lip.
How can I tell him?
I suppose it wouldn't do much good, especially since he doesn't care about you.
How can you say that? He cares.
You act happy, but I know you're not. I can tell.
I'm happy.
I care about you.
Not this again. Just don't.
I haven't stopped caring. I'll always be here for you. Marie clings to Kevin, pressed up against his chest. Firm yet comforting. Fit for a king almost, a barbarian perhaps. She relaxes against him, knowing he'd protect her if push came to shove. Franc versus Julie. Back on the first floor, Franc is chatting up a group. After successfully drawing attention away from Julie, he naturally just kept going. Julie went off the kitchen, grabbing a glass and a bottle of wine. Hold on. I'm going to shift this. Ending alone. Group here. Drawing attention away from Julie. He split off and now sits here. Julie went off to the kitchen, grabbed a glass and a bottle of wine. Nearly finished. 5 minutes, she's finished half. Not enough to be drunk, but just a tad inebriated, and a bit more free acting. She's currently downstairs with April, talking about guys. April brings up Franc, and Julie drags her friend over to him. He hears Julie stopping his way and turns to meet her. Sighing internally, he's met with April, tossed right into his arms. What? Sorry, April. Julie, I'm just showing you how to do a proper chest bump. You have to bump, you jump right in there. It is all right. I am accustomed to how Julie does things. I am glad it was you again and not her. Oh, well then. Glad this was easily resolved. April still clings to the man's chest. Like what you feel? Oh, well. You've had your fun. Julie grabs April and gently pushes her aside. She rushes a hand over Frank's arms. Oh, I've never noticed this before. Never grated cheese with them. Only back at home in Germany. It's how we make pizza. Really? Well, I'm gonna have to pay a visit then. And sniffs Frank's collar. This scent is to die for. I wouldn't mind having my dough rolled in this. Then I shall tell you where to get some. Steps back. Oh, do tell. Julie refills her glass and attempts to take a step forward, but April grabs the back of her shirt. Let the man breathe. Let the man breathe. Maybe you should as well. This cologne is made in Germany. You can buy it online at. Franc gives all the details he can. Julie nods with every word, seeming to mentally note everything. Amazon has everything. I'll just order from there. Will you wear it for me?
Perhaps Kevin shall. Ah, sorry, April, I forgot you two were together. We are not. Then, for my lovers, hence the key. All of Kevin's closest friends have a key to his home. I have one, about half a dozen here, and Marie, of course. Of course, though I was surprised she would keep such a key after, well, they did become friends again. Your engagement let her move on. I do appreciate that. She was a real wreck when, well, when it happened. So, Kevin's available. I figured he'd have some women wrapped around him. Maybe he'd take my teasing better. Though I don't mind teaching Franc. Franc immediately turns to Julie, speaking quickly. He is quite a young man. I bet he's searching for a good catch. Winks. Turns to Julie. I doubt it. What he wants is already taken. Eyes Franc. He had his chance, then put his hand into another cookie jar. I opened my lid only for one other. Is that what happened? I'm sure it's a misunderstanding. It wasn't. The sheets were clearly used. So, he is available, and I bet... So, anyway... He is available, and I bet you two will get along well. You are just like him, always searching for a better ride. Franc, stop bringing it up. You have Marie now. You have Marie now. It's not like she's getting back together with Kevin. Kevin's got a bot as hot as you. He can melt my butter any day. Julie chugs a glass of wine. This isn't in careful swallows. It's one smooth pour. She refills the glass. Takes a big chug of wine. Oh, I see. She tugs the glass of wine, not the wine bottle. Ever think of joining the circus with that act? Nah, I don't like animals. As you say, April really is mine now. Kevin's loss. Just giving a warning to Julie that Kevin may not stay with her for long. Not until he finds someone more attractive. I'm good with 3 ways, 4 ways, 5... Okay, Julie, let's get you something to eat, to go with all the wine. Will starts to push Julie towards the kitchen. The nearly drunk woman tries to stop her, but lacks the energy. I still got some questions wrong. I'll tell you all about Kevin's abs. Now those are impenetrable. Oh. April shepherds Julie upstairs, where she is to remain for the rest of the party. a funny bunch of girls. Marie has good friends. The party continues for a few hours. Julie bumps a few more people. Billy bumps a few more people. Franc watches on and listens to conversations. On and listens. Kevin and Marie return to the first floor, separately. April opens her gifts, hugs her friends. And hugs her friends. She'll cherish everything they've given her. Once the party winds down, people file out, saying their goodbyes. Franc and Marie are the last to leave. Are the last to leave. Down, file out. Okay, that works out. Marie nearly gives a goodbye. A hug to Kevin, but stops short and does a handshake instead, awkwardly. Just awkward handshake. Kevin shakes Franc's hand, using the same demeanor as with Marie. The two head home. Kevin sits on the couch, thinking about the party and Marie. Made a mistake once. Long ago. He vowed to not repeat this mistake ever again, and to keep his friends from doing the same. However, he may have to bend that last rule. Scene 5. Late Night Meeting 2. Once more, April finds herself beside a familiar light post, as dim as ever.
It's as dim as ever. The night is not as breezy as when she was here last. As breezy as last time. Although, I don't want to have time used twice here. As last week. Last week's, that'll work. Although this time, she's not as disruptive. The fiasco. I'm just reusing the words over the place. After the fiasco last Tuesday, meeting Craig's boss and singing to Craig in two fronts, she feels empowered, strong. Okay, let's do this way. Last Tuesdays will be this one, and last week will be that one. Set up as previous Tuesday and then just last week. That should work. Means Craig's boss and sticking it to... Alright, this won't be like before. Akin to a junkie pleading with her dealer, getting unnecessarily angry at little things. Will hold some power, now that she can go to the mass band directly. And Craig knows it. Yes, this will go swimmingly, even if Craig is a little late again. Her watch ticks past 1 a.m., and no Craig again. And no Craig. But she's patient, knowing he'll show. Of course, if he wants her to complain to his boss, she's more than happy to. But waits for 10 minutes more. Finally, Craig rounds a corner at a brisk pace, hands stuffed in his pockets. He stops suddenly at the post, where people just giving him a disappointed look. For his encounter, Craig will sound annoyed and irritable, like he's holding back anger or grudge. April glances at her watch. Back to Craig, and then back her watch again. I'm going to double space that one.
I should have clocked your pace. You look like a jet speeding towards me. What's the rush? You were so relaxed last week. What happened?
I want to go home early, so I'm dealing with my business quickly tonight.
Who would want to go home to an outhouse?
Funny.
Got the cash? Maybe I do. What's in it for me?
A bag of something sweet.
Oh, tasted it yourself?
No, Bossman said the stuff was good and potent.
Then I can make it last for a few months. Good, I won't have to meet you again for a while.
If only I'd be so fortunate.
Don't like my glistening personality.
Craig's temple pulses, but not strong enough to show veins. His body is clearly tense for a moment. He grits his teeth.
The only reason I tolerated you to begin with is because I have your boss on speed dial. What's there to worry about? I'm not going to tell him anything. Don't you dare make up anything.
I use anything twice. I don't like that. Want to tell him a thing?
I'm not going to tell him a thing.
Make up anything. That works a bit better.
Such as your unpleasant demeanor towards me. I am a good, consistent customer. And as he said before you, I'm due for a high-paying job. A cut of that salary would go to you. Are you interested in making some money, or do you prefer to wallow in shit?
Craig's eyes light on fire. He is enraged, his voice nearly screaming. You're nothing but a spoiled whore. You probably just sucked that degree off some lowly prof. April attempts to slap Craig, but he dodges back. He pulls his hands from his pocket, dukes up. He dodges left and right, throws some punches at nothing, and leers at April. April is disgusted at his abhorrent behavior, and to a lady no less. She recovers from her anger, taking the high road, as per her usual. You would strike a fine lady of the arts. Do you have a grudge against civil engineers? I beseech you to take it out on those who've wronged you, not this delicate woman. April flicks her head up, nose upturned at the scoundrel. Her hair waves and falls gently. She's looking down at him. I don't see no lady, just a hag, obsessed with a quick fix to her thinking problem. Can't do nothing but snort her problems away. Ho! Only a Neanderthal such as yourself could misunderstand so magnanimously. I have my recreation, just as the gutter trash before me. I choose finer dusts, rather than would have refused to scrape off a wall. Craig slows his dodging to a stop. No more practice punches. His voice quietens. I don't have time for this shit.
But, dearest, don't you have nothing but time to snort that brown goo off the wall?
Shove it. Craig forcefully stuffs his hand into one of his pockets, pulling out a baggie of brown powder. He tosses the bag to April. Being an intelligent woman, she anticipated this, catching the bag easily. Just take it. She looks inside, about 3 ounces of brown powder. It doesn't shine in the light. At least this time it's not brown sugar or something, she thinks. One whiff. Potent, but smelling of nothing she's ever encountered.
It's real this time. You're finally being a good little boy.
April attempts to reach over to pet Craig's head. He steps back, not having the shit. He holds out his hand, waving his fingers and looking to April.
Of course, I'll pay for it. I'm a good customer, loyal, one who doesn't screw over resources. Right, Craig?
April holds out a paper bag. Craig snatches it. A quick open verifies the amount. Looks about right. I assure you that all of it's there. Yeah. I know you're not going to skimp on me. That would be a mistake.
But think how funny it would be if you gave your boss less than the full payment. Wouldn't he be furious?
He knows I wouldn't do that.
So blatantly.
He knows immediately. He knows I'm smarter than that. April bends over a little, her hands resting on her knees. She looks up to Craig with a questioning look. Are you? Craig stifles down all his brewing rage, clenching his fists. The bag crinkles and crumples, nearly tearing a hole through. Almost done, he thinks to himself. Just one last thing to do. His voice is a tad tense. You said you'd be milking this. Well, you can't. Bossman said to use it all at once to have the proper effect.
Sounds made up.
Or are you misremembering? He told me just 30 minutes ago.
Oh, you have to meet with him twice in one night. What trust he has in you this time
we had to meet first. This time we had to meet first. To give me that stuff. It's not easy to come by, you know. To pass me that stuff.
And what is it?
It doesn't matter. Anyway, all at once. Got it?
All at once.
That's intriguing. And expensive.
Well, with my future glistening before me, I'll be able to afford it handily. The riches I'll earn with this degree, a feeling of accomplishment of never giving up. The graduation party. Do you remember yours? Oh, right. You dropped out and sealed your fate.
That's your problem. Buy 50 ounces for all I care and straight from him. I don't need any of this in my life.
You've ensured your life will be stark and empty all on your own. What's the harm in a real woman giving you attention?
Craig turns and starts walking away, done with his Omega bitch.
A sad little man in his own sad little world.
Holds up the baggie.
All at once, eh? Well, once I can afford.
By the bottle, I enjoy a little 3-ounce party once a week. When I can afford this, we'll just have to see how this stuff really is. April makes her departure. She will make use of this later in the week, or perhaps next week. No, to celebrate her new job, when she gets one. This is not the end of this little scene. or Craig has some venting to do and thoughts to express. He walks quickly down the streets and alleys, making his way to his car, talking softly to himself, releasing some steam the entire way. Bitch, 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 bitch! How dare a junkie talk to me like that? She's not better than me. She's hooked on drugs. That paper degree means nothing. Just a fucked six of Marie bitch can think she's better than anyone else. She's a cocky little shit. Craig punches the wall behind the benches on a bus stop. They crack slightly. His fist bleeds from the small cut. He wraps it in cloth, blaming April for the injury. He wouldn't have done it if it weren't for that bitch. She thinks she's so smart when she's got nothing on me. I'm the alpha here, not her. Not the cowboy. I'm number one. Me, Craig Phillips. I've got something to say. Craig passes a shop window, looks at a mannequin. It barely resembles April's figure, but is good enough for him. I'm getting the last laugh. Boss man didn't tell you how much you'd be getting. An oversight. Ha! He pulls out a tiny baggie, holding a small baggie containing a small pile of brown powder. This ounce is mine. A minor fee for what you pulled last time. Your high won't be optimal. You'll want more. I'll provide. Most of it, at least. I'm not going to hike up prices this time. Just take a little away here or there. You won't know the difference. Craig moves on from the anonymous door, feeling better having stuck it to her. The her in his head. He crosses the street just 2 blocks from the garage. Now just 2 blocks from the garage. My throat's getting killed here. Ugh. If 4 ounces cost $200, then 1 ounce the 1 ounce I have is worth $300. Think I can pump it up to its worth to a good buyer. Get maybe $500 for it. They're all idiots anyway, just junkies desperate for it. Scratch that itch. They'll think anything is a good price. He reaches the garage and climbs the stairs to the 3rd floor. One last thought prevails in his mind. He grants it the freedom of the outside world, speaking confidently. Fuck April. That bitch is nothing. A college brat. No world experience. No people experience. I've got the street knowledge and the balls. She's a hag, nothing more. Reaches his car. Fuck the boss, man. I want to be cowboy for the wrong time. No one's going to take you seriously talking like Roy Rogers. I can talk the talk and walk the walk, but you can only speak in TV slang. There ain't no horse for you to ride on. I'm the man here. You are the boy. Craig enters his car and heads home. He took a good licking from April, but he'll have the last laugh. I have to check something. What is he called boy? Because I don't recall that. Yep, he does. Alright. That's part 3. I think soccer and mom. My voices can still make it for a little bit. After some water. Scene 1. The soccer tournament. A few days after the party is Saturday. It is warm, but comfy. The park is more active than usual. Dozens of families and onlookers watch as teams of kids and some adults compete for a choice of prizes. First seed are the kids who always play the Franc and the others. They get this special privilege. The adult teams are all parents, so there isn't any roughhousing here. These teams are here for fun and may end up throwing so the kids can win. They think they'll make the kids earn it, but don't realize just how outmatched they are. Few can withstand the ferocity of a focused teen. Frank and Sean are on a team with some of these parents. Dominic likewise have a few mothers, a father, and an uncle on their side. Using several fields, the matches are well underway. The 4 company men make it through the first round, no problem. They congratulate the other teams for a good effort, both child and adult. A 10-minute recess, then on to the next match, the quarterfinals. It is here that one of them falls. The 4 main contenders face each other, each into a stage for such a match. Nonetheless, they are fierce and fight with their all. Frank easily dominates, not even needing the pass. His teammates distract the opposing team, giving Frank an easy path. Dominic doesn't take this lying down. He stays on Franc's tail, nearly stealing the ball several times. He gets really close once. Several of the bombs corner Franc, forcing him to make an emergency maneuver. Dominic saw this coming. Timed his foot perfectly and, bump, something knocks into him, pushing him to the ground. He quickly looks up, but to no ref makes the call. Franc scores a goal, and Dominic lies there, fuming. The match goes to Franc's team. Dominic storms off the field, likely to punch a tree for a few. The other matches conclude, and another break calms the panting teams. Blood yet pumps for the semi-final will start next. Franc now faces some familiar dads, the ones who are partial to Dominic, who reintroduced them to baseball as part of their park sports. Alright. As part of the park sports. They will avenge their fallen brother. Use a baseball part of the park sports work. Alright. The match begins with the dads' quick, coordinated maneuvers. They practiced. Franc has to actually work to avoid them. He's forced to pass. It's caught by Leo, a stepfather on his team. He manages to score a goal, starting them off with the lead. It's a grueling match from here on. No one scores. Even Franc is unable to get a clear shot. The dads are well rehearsed. They have amazing teamwork. For the first time since he came to America, Franc feels some pressure. However, it is under the stress that Franc really takes off. He breaks out his good moves, ones he's never shown before. With a powerful grace, he works around the dads, passing and receiving. The others know Franc is the key to victory, so they will ensure he gets the ball as much as possible. The dads, though, turn it up, unwilling to let Franc win yet again. They all get a few goals in, tying it all. The match drags on. No one can score. Both sides are fighting with everything, determined to not let the other win. Time's nearly up. The next score will be the winner. Leo is hurting the ball, but gets trapped. Passes to Franc, who is quickly cornered. Passes to Sean and dashes around. Focus on the ball, the dads aren't watching Franc. He gets in position near the goal, waiting for Sean to send it over. Sean runs, keeping the ball just in front of him, making it hard to steal. He sees an opening, brings his foot back, way back, about to deliver a mighty kick. Whoa! He falls forward on the ground. His momentum was too great to take his foot so far back. He lost balance. Ball is recovered and sped over the other side of the field. Franc can't move fast enough. Goal! The semi-final ends with Franc's defeat. Usual congratulations go to both teams, but Franc is out of it. He wanders to the bathrooms and sits in a stall, lost in thought, disbelieving what just happened. The tournament goes to the final round. The first seed versus the dads. The dads, exhausted after their last match, are easy pickings. They don't have to throw anything. They were defeated before stepping onto the field. The kids scream and rejoice, jump and hug. They've won it all. First pick of the prizes is all theirs. Scene 2. Back to business. 4 men sit in the shade. Ted is bemused. Sean is awkward. Dominic is upset. Franc has recovered, but the sting of loss is still there. They all talk about the tournament, but move on to work, now discussing the deal and their labors. We've been spending far too much over the last 2 years, even with the cutbacks and things. These projects are just feasting on the funds. We might have been fine if we kept up the contracts, but splitting our efforts between 2 fronts has cost us work. Greg's got some major balls on him for this all-or-nothing gambit, this deal. Greg must know what he's doing. He's no fool. The risk must be worth the reward. Not that he'd tell us what the deal is. Ugh, if I knew why we're doing all this, I'd be on board. What's life without a few risks? At worst, the company goes under, but we'll still be together, and there's plenty of places that would take 4 gifted negotiators. Comma that. And if we get separate jobs, there's still soccer. That's true. We can still meet up on the weekends and show off new skills. I'll definitely be practicing. Frank's not going to stay ahead forever. I'd be happy just playing with you all. If the deal goes through, whatever it is, then we won't have to worry about anything. Then on to the main question here. Why are we doing all of this? I would venture that the deal is literal. I think we're preparing to move to partner with someone. They like people-focused companies, so we're working to impress them. A merger, maybe? Nah, I can't see Greg giving up control. He acts passive, but I know he's got a heart of a lion. He did raise the company up from the middle leagues. That took strength. It's no merger, and it's not selling out either. A partnership, maybe, but he's more of a buyout guy. Why do these projects if we're going to buy them out? Agreed. There's no reason to press someone who's just going to pay them for their company. Dominic has a point, though. I wonder. You know, there is a company out there that has announced plans to sell, but hasn't moved yet. Oh, yes, you're right. There's Robotics Life. That would make sense. They haven't released their biography yet. Isn't this premature? A lot of Craig has a keen eye for what they want, a little analysis of what they've done with themselves and their community. Others are making moves. Why not Craig? That's a real risk, though. What if he's wrong? Ha! Now this is what I'm talking about. A lucky guess. A shot in the dark. A real gamble. Greg's going big. I'll have to give him more credit from here on in. Maybe a few thumbs up. We started all this 2 years ago, around the time Rio announced they'd be selling to the right company. They certainly are people-oriented, hence our various tasks. The customer service portal, the website stuff, was just to impress them. We needed that for a while. We were relying on just emails. I'm good with emails, but I don't disagree with having an actual database. Like I'm the one who'll be dealing with it. Rupert will handle it. It's his project and field anyway. Just as Linda will handle the marketing as usual. And soccer, apparently. Dominic, you can let that go. Didn't you enjoy yourself today? That's not the point. She blatantly stole our idea. I'll agree. She must be struggling to try to pull this. She must have been struggling if she tried to pull this over on us. She must be struggling if she tried to pull this one over. I agree. She must... No. She has only done food drives so far, whereas the rest of us have actually tried a couple of things. She's stuck on one idea, and not one that's done terribly well. She had to force her underlings to volunteer. Bitch. Herbert's ideas are quite a bit better. They're more engaging with people in this era. The drive would have been better off 30 years ago. And bags for our logo? Really? They don't really need better brands. I think we're more prestigious than Safeway. You said it. That woman has no shame, suckling at our success. She even had the gall to say we'd failed. She didn't say that, but, hand on shoulder briefly, I can see where you're coming from. She's a fish out of water, ready to be grilled by a master sushi chef. Well, I don't think even Kayla can cut the poison out of this blowfish. How would she even get her out of the tank? A net. I'd use a spear. Spear would drip blood. Stick with the net. Let the boiling water handle this lobster. A lobster dinner. That would have been quite the prize for the winner. If we won, I'd have a perfect date for You Can't Stop. You can stop dreaming. Kayla's going to say no. Now if I bring up today, the kids, my role in their splendor, and about how you messed up, it could have happened to anyone. All I hear is, "I'm sorry, baby. It's just too cold." In Yosemite, maybe. Speaking of which, I'm surprised the kids chose that trip over the PS3s. I was surprised when I saw it on their wish list. Kids are stupid. Speaking of which, hey, Frank, what would you have picked? Lobster dinner. If only. I am sorry about that. I didn't mean to trip. It is, alright. There'll be other games, maybe more contests. I'll have another chance. Laser beat Dominic's team. Not really a competition there. You trying to start something. I'll have you know, I was about to execute on Frank, but then Billy's dad bumped into me and threw off my balance. Yeah, sure. Whatever, not my fault. I'll cream Franc another time. Give it up. You're never gonna beat him. I am honestly surprised by how gifted you are. Undefeated in soccer and in negotiations. How did you get Kayla to work for Just Tips? How did you get Kayla to work for Just Tips? I know how to read people, and she is kind at heart. I never have kids at families. The tips didn't come from just anyone, they're from the child's hand. The feeling was just too good for her to pass up. I can't thank you enough for learning that. She's already beautiful, but a family girl. She's just too perfect. You're not her type, too docile. She's a beast in the kitchen. I know, winks. The kitchen of Trab Night, along with hundreds of others. What a real special link you have. Hey, that counts. I can see your passion from afar. Sean's got no chance. Except that I have 2 nephews. I know how to handle kids. She'll catch on to that, I'm sure. I believe you are a good fit. As a fellow negotiator, I'm certain you'll land a good deal. Thanks. You're a real nice guy. No wonder the kids took a liking to you. That was pretty fast. The first day, in fact. If it weren't for that immediate bond, the park's sports idea would never have worked. We'd be floundering trying to get kids on board. But you had it done before we even started. It's not just Franc. The parents were very accepting of adults being positive role models. Just because Franc's a center doesn't mean there aren't just because Franc's a center doesn't mean there aren't other people involved here. I do believe my reinvigoration of father's boyhood played a part. To see grown men playing baseball like kids. That was special. And you got your connection to your boyhood from Franc. He's the center, as you say. I guess you're not wrong. I suppose you helped me get a bit to reconnect with my childhood. Granted, I was a baseball kid, not soccer. But playing anything with a group of friends was nostalgic. Thank you. Alright, this works better. Got to relive your boyhood through Franc. Dominic, I am touched. Yeah, let's just move on. You would talk with a Greg after the meeting. What happened? That's true, you said it was a secret, and that you'd tell us when the time was right. All 3 looked to Franc with expecting eyes. Expectantly. Dominic voluntarily is technically looking over Franc's shoulder, avoiding eye contact after that tiny heartfelt moment, but he's still curious. The time has not yet arrived, I'm sorry to say. Then I'll say it for you. He's going to promote you, isn't he? Promote to what? Assistant manager would work. Only have 2 after all, compared to Rupert's 4. Ah, that would be fair. It was not a promotion. Yet. He's thinking about it, isn't he? Ted must have given detailed reports beyond just a summary during the meeting. Oh, I have. I've made it loud and clear. Who's been an amazing help, a good employee, and responsible for the success of the park sports and the crab night. I laid it all out. That would explain his demeanor, despite not knowing me well. I have you to thank, then? It was part of my job, nothing more. What kind of manager would I be if I didn't promote an extremely talented individual? Talented member of my team. I wouldn't want him to think he can fire you like a barista. Once he makes the decision, I'll welcome you with open arms. Thanks, Dominic. He'll just look over your shoulder. From behind. To take notes, I'm sure. Maybe. We could all learn something from Franc. Certainly. We all learn something from Franc. Certainly. But some things are just out of reach, like the natural charisma of yours, and standing with your guns. You were born to negotiate. How'd you end up in programming and not hostile negotiation?
I prefer to create something from the ground up. Not walk in, fix something, then leave.
That's manager talk right there. You're a shoo-in. Hell, maybe you'd even do well helping Greg directly. Never had an assistant, you know. Aside from a bitch. Officially, he's never taken on an apprentice or an underling. Franc's got a different feel from Greg, though. Maybe Greg will learn something from him. It'll definitely be two-directional. A good pairing, I'd say. If the deal goes through, we would be expanding. Maybe an assistant to Greg is an outside realm possibility. I didn't consider that. We are buying out Real and expanding our operations. There's going to be many more positions available. Greg would absolutely need a hand. You take Linda's, the two are like a married couple. Except Greg's already taken. Doesn't mean you can't base the lobster on the side. Ugh, gross. I didn't tell you to picture it. Just stop already. Sean closes his eyes, covering his ears with his hands. All this talk about Linda and sex is too cringe for him. Seniority is a bitch, but I know Greg has a good eye and head on his shoulders. I don't think he'd take Linda. She's too spicy. He recognizes Franc, even enough to have a private chat with him. He's going to put him in a manager position somewhere. That's a guarantee. Well, since you figured it out already, I suppose I can not hide it further. Dominic's eyes flip to Franc's. Ted smiles and shakes Sean. Sean stops closing himself off from reality. So, it's true then. The branch manager, specifically. The deal, I cannot say what it is, but there will be an expansion. You didn't hear this from me. Malthape, you lucky dog. I knew it. Didn't I say I knew it? Yes, you did a good job, Sean. That's a good boy. Dominic gives Sean a one light pet to the head. Sean happily pants. The man then snicker. I won't tell anyone about this, neither will the rest of us. But I do offer my congratulations. It is not official yet. There is still some time. He says he will reconsider Rupert and Linda, but it is heavily leaning toward me. Just need to prove myself a bit more. Doing what? A secret, when the time is right. Oh, please, not this again. It's all right. We'll just wait and see. I know it must be something important. I'll be watching closely. Then I won't do it at work. So it can be done at work? Do best keep guessing. I'm not saying anything more. How about a fuck you to Linda? She hates your guts. Hates how much you've contributed in your short time here. She even hates how we all hang out together. That's her problem. Just some immaturity. She's been Greg since he took over as CEO, through thick and thin. But despite having a deep bond, she's not boss material. Franc's a far better pick. I stand behind this 100%. I thank you all for the support. It has been a good 2 years. I look forward to many more with you all. You better be looking forward. One glass behind, I'll steal that ball right from under you. You trip first. You're one to say that. Hey, that was an accident. I wouldn't make that mistake. But you let someone bump into you. It's a chaotic field. How could anyone guys, there's no need to argue. I can teach you how to snatch a ball from someone's feet. Isn't that a trade secret? What? It's not like you're ever going to get that ball away from me. Four-man laugh. And joke as their day comes to an end. Alright, throat really getting a workout today. Alright, scene 3. Mom talk. Same time as the tournament, Marie visits her mom for their bi-weekly talk. This is always done in person. The phone just doesn't feel right. Not for these two. They are as close as a mother and daughter can be. Mom's home is an apartment. It's not the best, but it's what she could afford after Dean and Rupert, her previous husbands. Robert. Oh, that changed to John, didn't it? Oh, that's going to be awkward. I have an old name in there. Dean and John. You know what? So where does John come in? Hold on. Hold on. Let me just check a few things. Alright, so it's not there. It wouldn't come up there. Let's check here. Alright, so it's just in the characters where I have that old name then. I think I will keep it as Dean and John. Yeah, so we're going to change Robert to John. Now, who was first? Wait, what? Alright, so let's double check this. Alright, who were... I have to check the order real quick again. Maria's mom is down here. Where the hell is she? So Dean, then John was the order. Then going back down to here. So I list Dean first, then John. So that's fine. All right. Just make a quick note to make sure I didn't mess this up anymore. All right, after Dean and John, her previous husbands. The two women are sitting in separate comfy chairs. The talk starts as any other. They joke and catch up. Eventually, the conversation turns to more prevalent topics. It's looking good. I had the inspectors check over everything. The asking price is fair, but he still managed to bring it down by $30,000. A real miracle worker. He has his good points. Dear, he's all good points. A perfect score. How many men out there would be willing to buy their mother-in-law a house? He's so giving, caring, loving, smiles Marie. How have things been? Things are fine. Everything's fine. Marie, you can't lie to me. What's wrong? Tenses. Well, what do you mean? You're freezing up. He doesn't like you. Where did my daughter go? Marie tries to relax, but makes little progress. She lets out a heavy sigh, but is still tense. Her hand holds on to her opposite arm. Things are not that fine. Looks away. You can tell me. I'm Mommy. Bronx. I don't think I love him anymore. Ray freezes on the spot. Mom freezes on the spot. Her eyes stare at Marie. A few seconds pass, then a full 10. Mom leans forward, her voice a bit more serious. Marie, is it cold feet? No, he's just... I don't feel like I used to. It's different now. My precious daughter, when a couple gets closer, and they spend a lot of time together, they may start to feel accustomed to each other. There's less excitement, the wow is gone, but this is just a phase. The love is still there. It really feels different than before, as you said. Just feels different.
That's not it.
You never made it this far, nearly with Kevin, but
Leave Kevin out of this. That affair was a mistake.
he ruined things. You were hurt, but you recovered. You have since recovered. And who was there for you? Who pulled you up from the abyss? Frank. He was your hero. It takes true love to pull a woman from the depths of despair.
You're not wrong. You're really not. But I think I made a mistake ending it so soon with Kevin.
The man cheated on you. I don't think I need to tell you how important trust is in a relationship. When Dean left me, after 15 years of love, marriage, a child, you were just 10 when your father left. We trusted him so, but he up and left. Father took off. Trusted him so, but he up and left. All to escape his debts, saddling us with them.
Mom.
God, my throat. So much more left. Marie reaches out a hand to Mom's knee, resting it gently. And then John did the same thing. Mom. Mom rests a hand on Marie's, gripping gently. Trust me. Trust is the most important thing. When someone betrays that trust, you can't just forgive them. Kevin nearly destroyed you. Over nothing more than some excitement. The man then deserves the worst fate.
It hurt so much. If Frank weren't there, I may have remained lost forever.
Only true love can save a woman from that fate.
Or someone who showed up at the right time.
Pulls hand back. Marie.
I've moved past the affair. Kevin and I are good friends now. Very good friends.
It's very mature of you to do that. But back to my main point. You're giving up too soon on Frank. The feelings you have now are natural. You're engaged to a wonderful, happy, loving man. And one due for promotion.
And he's due for some lessons in proper etiquette.
What are you talking about?
He was rude at April's party. He even brought a pretzel platter. April doesn't like pretzels. I told him. But he said she can start now. That she'll learn to love them, like everyone, he said. Not everyone likes pretzels. We're a fruit group.
Is this really about some pretzels? And I heard your friends loved them.
Surprisingly, a lot of them. Well drunk.
Then it was a hit.
He wouldn't let me bring the fruit platter. He said we shouldn't dominate the refreshments.
True, you shouldn't bring too much.
But April loves fruits.
It sounds like something you could have discussed. Did you?
There's just no arguing with him. He looks at me like I'm gonna give in. And then I do.
This will serve as a valuable lesson, then. Couples need to talk about things, not shut down. Never had one fight with Kevin, did you? That's not normal.
It was like magic. We just got each other.
And then he threw you away for a prettier fish.
That's not what happened.
Fox never had eyes for anyone else, has he? Ree tries to change the subject back to the party.
He only has eyes for what he's interested in.
Which is you.
At the party, he barely socialized.
Did he know anyone there?
That wouldn't stop him. You know how he is. He has to get right there in the thick of it. If his friends aren't there, he doesn't care.
I heard he showed to Julie, drawing people away from their impromptu chest-bumping competition.
I heard about that from Bea. I was in the kitchen at the time with April. I suppose he did help out a bit.
See?
That was April's suggestion. We needed some girl talk, and Julie was causing a ruckus.
So he took on a dangerous adversary to save the party. Rhea lets out a slow sigh and looks down. She can't deny this. Frank could have refused, but he did voluntarily take on Julie, who he has trouble with. He never seems to get that she's just teasing. Rhea feels confident, but continues on. She has to say what she's feeling. If she can't tell her mom, who else can? No, it has to be mom.
Kevin and I are friends now, having returned to some sort of normalcy. And yet, Frank is rude to him.
Kevin is rude to Frank as well.
No, it's just awkward.
He's probably uncomfortable being around an actual man, one who provides so much love and care.
Kevin cared. There was just an unfortunate accident.
Fucking someone else is no accident. The two sit there, looking away from each other. A minute passes. No sound to break the silence. Mom is the first to speak. I'm sorry, dear. I overreacted a little.
It's okay.
You know how I feel about Kevin, after what he did to you, how he lost you were, a single island floating in an endless sea. I was afraid you'd take drastic action on yourself.
I'd never leave you alone.
Frank is a great man, a person of high caliber. Everyone loves him, even if they've just met. He has that charm, that charisma. He's progressed so far in his job after just 2 years. He's on the cusp of becoming a manager. He's worked so much and never skimps on quality. A truly strong work ethic. Just what you expect from a German man. He's a go-getter. He got you, didn't he? Marie has a lot of mixed feelings rolling inside of her. The most important one right now is feeling terrible for getting Mom riled up. In this mix, she cracks a smile, looking at Mom with tearing eyes. Mom looks back, sniffling just a bit.
You're engaged with a wonderful man. Any woman would be lucky just to have him, but you get to spend your life together.
To know him.
You're right. I've just been stressed lately, you know. I've been thinking a lot about the thing, Joe in particular.
What about?
I've been thinking about talking to him. I think I could be a good manager.
Mom's eyes light up. A giant smile across her face. She slaps Marie's knee. I can do better than that. My leg was much better than my shoulder. That's amazing. John's going to be thrilled. Joe's going to be thrilled. You know he'd accept you immediately.
I need classes, probably.
Why? You know everything about the business. He calls you a lot during work, doesn't he? For advice, what did Bayard say?
Joe doesn't really call me. We email sometimes.
No, Bayard said you were on the phone with someone a lot, and not Frank, you can tell. Another friend, then?
Yes, another. Very good friend.
You're a perfect fit for Joe. A great right-hand woman. I see Frank's progress has inspired you. Yet another thing is
It wasn't Frank.
Oh.
It was...
Marie tenses, holding her arm, looking away. She can't tell Mom who it was. They can't go back to that subject.
It was another friend. Anyway, what's important is that I'm going to really try for this. My friend was adamant that I do.
She's got a good head on her shoulders, then. She'll be lucky to have a big friend circle. Was this during the party?
Yes, it was.
You and Frank will make quite the manager pair. Have you told him? He certainly didn't tell me such big news. Ah, he wanted you to tell me yourself.
He doesn't know. I was going to do afterward.
Marie, should be open about this. Share in the excitement.
He wouldn't be as thrilled as you think.
Of course he would be. A manager needs a manager wife.
Frank likes being in control. He wouldn't want me to be a threat to him.
He's no control freak.
He even started calling himself the master.
Well, he is the master of the house. He pays for everything. Marie, you need to let him have some control. Men are like this. They like to be in charge. This is how men are. They like to be in charge. So let him think he's this master.
It's not just being called that. It's the get up.
Freezes. Marie, my lovely daughter. That's not abnormal in a relationship. Cosplay is common amongst couples. Him the master of the house, and you the naive maid.
Oh, that's
what it is, isn't it? He wants you to dress up. Not a maid, then maybe something else.
It's all good one way or another. Maybe you should think of some things you can dress up as. I know I did. Mom, I don't need to hear this. I'll spare you the details of the train conductor and his wild caboose. Mom, too much? Okay, I'll make this simple. Relationships are about give and take. You can't just take all the time. Frank is stressed right now. His boss has given him extra tasks on top of the negotiations and this community work stuff. He needs some time to relax. You're soon to be his wife. This is a wifely duty. It's not just this. There's more. He started wanting this a few months ago. This and some other weird things. Marie, it's okay. I can see where this is going. There are protections you can take. Protections? Confused look. Like cosplay and having some control. Some men just like to trade back there. You can start it easy, just a little No, it's not. Ew, that's not what I'm not talking about. Oh, sorry. I am learning so much from you. Then this was a good talk. Appears a little faint. Let's move on, maybe. Carnival's coming up. I won't be going. The party's right on the last day, and we have preparations to do. We could have just done it another day. Hold on. We have preparations to make. We could have just had it the day after. It wouldn't be an anniversary if it wasn't on the exact day. Would have been a great show of love to relive the proposal. Have some fun. Parties are fun. Maybe have some carnival-themed games. There's always your 1-year marriage anniversary. I guess. When is the date? We haven't decided yet. It's been nearly a year. You should have at least the month down. It's not like you have to wait for family and friends to fly in. Everyone invited lives in the city. It just doesn't feel like the right time. The fact that I just don't feel... Like you say, this is low, right? Thought I was falling out of love. It's been very confusing. Marie, it's okay, my dearest treasure. Now that we've cleared up all these thoughts in your head, you and Frank can settle on a date. Marie tenses, sweats. She managed to hold in her true feelings on this. Her mom, of course, notices. Cold feet happens to a lot of people. Once it's all said and done, it'll be better. Maybe if you and Frank talk a lot more. And I do mean a lot more. I'll speak to him and let him know you would to drop by Joe's copy every day. We live together. That won't be necessary. But I can see you sooner, before your shift is over. Every day would be like a little romantic getaway. And once you're both managers, your schedules will line up perfectly. Maybe join him in the park for some soccer. The kids would love you. I guess. Give it some time. You'll feel better once you get over this hump. In the meantime, maybe there's a way to bring some excitement back. Where's the bedroom? Mom, please. Alright, my dear, I'll drop it. Just like his hammer. Mom! Okay, I'll stop for now for real. Your happiness is just over the horizon, and my happiness is tied with you. Mom lets go a genuinely motherly smile. Maria's heart sinks. Mom's happiness is entwined with Frank. Frank's been such a good friend to her. He'll be the best son-in-law she could ask for. He's even buying her that house. Marie can't give up so easily on Frank. Can't give up on Frank so easily. He's been a bit demanding as of late, but he's under a lot of pressure. It's part of the role. At night, this marriage is going to prove to Mom that they're not cursed with men. Dean and John were a 2 in a million chance. Frank will break this curse. He has to. The fortune said as much. Marie just understood. That's all. So fortune and and she'll never tell him.
as much as Kevin thinks he should know. Alright, and she'll never tell him about it, as much as Kevin thinks he should know. Marie and Mom move on to other things. After 25 minutes, they finish up and Marie heads home. Alright, scene 4. The brief scene, then I can stop killing my throat. A message. At her car, she checks her messages. So many friends, so many texts. There is a missed call from Kevin. She pauses for a moment, thinking. Kevin is a friend, nothing more. She just had a heart-to-heart with Mom, so her feelings were back in proper order. Yes, they're all set. There's nothing to fear. Replays the message. Greetings, Earthling. I am an ambassador from Uranus. You have been selected to participate in a grand talk to discuss future celebrations on your world. The subjects will be too grand to download into your brain. We have succeeded 3 times out of the thousands we have tried. We do apologize for the non-Egyptian pyramids. We don't know how those lines crossed. I still blame Admiral Kachekachek. Anyway, if you are available, please drop by the ship. It is disguised as a completely normal townhouse. My vessel waits eagerly. End communication. Marie smiles and laughs while listening. Kevin never stops. It's what drew her to him in the first place. No, stop thinking about that. It's his charm. He does this with Bea and the others. It's just how he is. Marie has secured her feelings. There's no harm in just dropping by. In just 20 minutes, she's out the door. Alright, that goes in a separate sentence. Kevin opens and gives a Uranus greeting, self-bunny ears, with the fingers. The two chuckle. He drops the hand and extends it for a shake. I am so glad you can make it. The others were all coming to me with questions about the anniversary party. They don't want to bother you all with their preparation. You with all. Bother you? Bother you? Bother you since you've got a lot of preparations to handle. Also, since I'm apparently the party master now. Marie's smile slowly fades at the mention of the party. Hearing the word master sinks hard into her chest. She's light on her feet, swaying. Kevin immediately lurches forward, taking Marie in his arms. It's okay. Okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Shh, strokes head. Marie's secure emotions ooze out. They were barely held back as it was. In Kevin's arms, in his arms, she melts. Tears drizzle, nose leaks. She lightly holds her hands at Kevin's sides, barely mustering the strength. Kevin doesn't miss a beat. He leads her inside. I'm here for you. I'll never leave your side. I squeezes inside her. Kevin brushes the door closed, clicking softly. Alright, that should do for today. A nice 3.5 hours of proofreading and getting some nice edits in there. Oh, the next read is going to be hell.